right? There are other music videos as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And those potentially have millions of views as well?
Potentially, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. In any of the videos that the ones that we saw today and the other ones that you've viewed, Alicia Andrews isn't in any of those videos, right?
Not that I've seen.
As far as you know, she's not a rapper.
Not that I'm aware of.
As far as she's not a ghost rapper writing lyrics for any of these people, as far as you know?
The lyric part, she hasn't at least been on where you like Apple Music and stuff like that. You can see who written by. Her name has not come across any of those, no ma'am.
And that was going to be my next question. First, if you've ever looked to see who was credited for this music.
Yes, ma'am.
And Alicia Andrews is not credited for any of this music.
Not that I've come across.
Okay. You also haven't heard her mentioned in any of these songs.
No, ma'am, I have not.
And I believe you already said you haven't seen her in any of the videos, right?
I have not seen her.
Okay. In the Who I Smoke video, I'm sorry, in the Game Over video.
Yes, ma'am.
Despite the fact that Young and Ace is sort of taking credit for the Julio Foolio murder, he hasn't been arrested related to this case. Is that accurate?
That's accurate.
All right. I want to talk to you about the October 2023 shooting of Mr. Jones in his foot, I believe it was, right?
Okay.
So, where did that occur?
It occurred in Duval County in an area town called Paxson.
Okay. And is that one of those towns that has like a separate police department, or?
No, ma'am. Jacksonville in Duval County itself is very large. So there is separate neighborhoods that have different names throughout the city. Just for a couple examples, just so you can, like there's a town center, there's Southside, Mandarin, Paxson, Sherwood. So like there's different, each little area of town has its own little nickname.
Got it. But all of those are under the jurisdiction of JSO?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And as I don't believe I asked you this question, so I'm going to ask you. Even though you are assigned to ATK, it's possible that other detectives, other gang detectives, could end up assigned to like a specific investigation for ATK.
Yes, but generally how we work within our unit is if you're on call that night or that day and an incident occurs, you will respond and you will get the preliminary information. And once I come back to work, I will then take over the role of assisting the other units as the main ATK chain of point of contact. Got it.
Okay. And in this case, actually, that's exactly what happened. Detective Drabeck was on call,
yes,
right?
ma'am.
So he ended up initially connecting with the Tampa Police Department in this case.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But back to October 2023.
Yes,
so would you describe yourself as like the lead detective as it relates to that shooting?
No, ma'am. Within the sheriff's office, we have different investigative units. We would be more of like an intelligence unit, or we have a robbery violent crimes unit that handles robberies and violent crimes, more like shootings where people do not die. And then we have a homicide unit that handles homicides. So we assist them with intelligence and other information that we may have.
Okay. So you could end up assisting as far as giving intelligence to on a wide range of different crimes.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So you could be helping a robbery detective, homicide detective, maybe even like a grand theft situation. You could be working on any crime as long as it's connected to a gang.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you were actually working on this crime as well?
Yes, ma'am. I responded to that scene. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so your job and your responsibility is to assist them, to give any information that you might have that could assist is to give to them, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And as far as what you know about that crime, you know that he was shot in the foot and that he drove himself to the hospital, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you know that it occurred after or within hours of an ATK member being shot.
Shot and killed, yes, ma'am.
Shot and killed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You still have not made an arrest in that case, the October 2023.
There has not been an arrest, no, ma'am.
All right. And you don't have any evidence to suggest that Alicia Andrews was involved in that shooting?
I do not, no, ma'am.
No. She obviously, you have not made an arrest, so she was not arrested in relation to that shooting?
That would be correct.
Okay. You don't have any evidence to suggest that she knew about that shooting?
I do not.
That she was on the scene of that shooting?
I do not.
You don't have any evidence to suggest that she was aware or knew any of the people that you suspect were involved in that shooting at the time?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Okay. Now I want to talk about the evidence in this case specifically.
Okay.
You didn't draft any reports in this case, right?
Related to the homicide in itself, no, ma'am.
Okay. Did you draft any other reports
Some Duval County related incidents, yes, ma'am.
connected to this incident?
It would be connected to Duval County cases.
Okay, not the murder in this case.
No, ma'am.
Okay. You didn't collect any physical evidence. Obviously, you weren't in Tampa. You were in Jacksonville, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. At what point do you kind of step in to assist or to take over from Detective Drabeck?
We worked along together pretty much the entire case, just because it was a lot of information and stuff in the back and forths. So I would say I never took it over completely. We worked alongside each other the entire time.
Okay. And if you had to put like a time on it, how long would you say you and Detective Drabeck are assisting in this case?
From the day it happened until current day.
Okay. All right. You would agree with me that one of the catalysts to this back and forth gang war is that 2018 shooting at the town center.
I would say that was a very big moment in this war. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and we've heard a lot about, so I just want to kind of refresh the jury's understanding. So
Okay.
this 2018 shooting, Young and Ace is shot and survives, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
His brother, Trayvon Bullard, is also shot and actually dies in this shooting.
Yes, ma'am.
There's another gentleman named Jacoby Grover
Yes.
that dies,
Yes, ma'am.
and Royale Smith, that is 23. He also dies.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? You don't have any evidence to suggest that Alicia Andrews is personally connected to any of these individuals that died.
That died? I do not.
Okay. Or to Young and Ace,
I
who
do
survived.
not.
I would assume, but I'm going to ask that you relayed, or you and Detective Drabeck relayed your knowledge about this 2018 shooting and the origins of the gang war. You relayed that to Detective Ramos, who's the lead detective in Tampa.
Yes, we have.
Okay. Do you know a woman by the name of Aaliyah Albright?
I know of her. I don't know much about her.
Are you aware that she was on the scene the night of this shooting, this murder, the murder in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sure you have reviewed the video footage, the surveillance in front of the hotel.
Yes, ma'am.
Right before the shooting occurs?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you would recall that Miss Albright gets out of a vehicle and then goes inside of the hotel lobby, immediately proceeding. I see you're looking at the state. Did you?
No, just look around.
Oh, okay. She proceeded inside of the hotel lobby immediately before the shooting happened, right?
The last time I saw the video was a good while ago. I would need to refresh my
Sure.
memory on the video.
No problem.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to outside the scope of direct.
Yes, what's this relevant to?
Your Honor, can we go sidebar about this?
Yeah.
I don't want to make this argument.
Come on up. Yes, go ahead. Take a 5-minute recess.
All right. Jury's out, Judge.
Okay, very good. So 5-minute recess, again, same rule. You're under cross-examination, so you can't talk to anybody, including the prosecutors, about anything related to this case, all right? We'll be back in 5. on the stand. Let's go ahead and bring in the jury. Yeah. Well, hold on to bring him in yet.
Hold on, Ron.
Yeah, just talk regularly.
Okay. The next witness is the medical stipulation to identification, and I know there's an instruction you normally read with that, so
I
I
will.
would ask the court to read that before I begin, Mr. Ray.
Sure. Okay, very good. All right, now let's bring in the jury.
Yes, sir. All right, Ron. Learn the rest of the
Do you think I included that instruction in my?
I think
stuff
you
that
did
sent
too.
you? I don't know if it's easier.
So much paper up here. My biggest problem is finding what I need at any given moment, but I do have it.
Very good.
Yep.
All rise. Jury is in good.
Okay, very good. You may proceed attempting to lay the predicate. Go ahead.
Yes.
Wait.
Alrighty, good afternoon again, Detective Meter.
Yes, good afternoon.
I was asking you before that at some point in your investigation, either during this case or in another, you became aware of a woman named Alicia Albright.
Yes,
All right, and you're aware that she was on the scene the night of the murder.
yes,
Specifically, that she was a part of the group of people that Julio Foolio was with the night of the murder,
yes,
right? And you reviewed the video surveillance that shows her entering into the hotel?
I have.
Okay.
And for the record, what are you getting ready to show this witness? What is this?
That's what he just testified to.
I know, does it have an exhibit number for the record?
Yes, sure, Your Honor. It's Exhibit 22B.
Okay, very good.
22B6.
All right, so I guess you're supposed to be looking.
I'm gonna go, try to limit this to exactly where I'm gonna do it. I have a little pointer I'm gonna try to use,
Okay.
if it works. It doesn't. Okay, so I want to direct your attention to the vehicle, the people getting out of the vehicle.
Yes,
Do you recognize one of those individuals as Miss Alicia Albright?
I believe that's her in the pink. I'm not
Okay.
100%, but I believe that is her.
All right, and what do you see her doing at this point?
She's following a young man named Tafa McCray into the hotel.
And as far as your understanding of this video, this happens prior to the shooting.
Yes,
All right. And in your recollection of what occurs in this video, I can play it through if you need me to. Miss Albright doesn't come back out before the shooting occurs, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay. You do know that she was not shot in this incident, right?
I don't think so. I don't know the answer to that either.
Okay. But you have seen this video in its entirety?
I have.
Okay.
Okay, what's your next question?
You mentioned earlier, we spoke at length at this point about the 2018 shooting, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And one of the individuals involved in that shooting is going to be this gentleman right here, Trayvon Bullitt, right?
Yes, ma'am. He's one of
Also
the
known as
deceased.
Quan.
Yes, ma'am. He's
or-
deceased.
He is deceased. He died in that 2018 shooting, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the person that you placed him next to in this chart, this is his brother,
Correct.
correct? Same last name,
Yes.
Same mother, as far as you know?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Okay. Brothers, nonetheless.
Yes.
Were you aware that Miss Albright videoed in that video, entering in the hotel right before the shooting, that she was dating Mr. Trayvon Bullard, aka Quan, at the time of his death in 2018?
I'm aware of them dating. I didn't know about the time of his death. I'm
Okay.
not sure about that answer.
Is that information, but you were aware that they were dating?
At some point in their lives, yes.
All right. Is that information that you provided to Detective Ramos in Tampa?
I'm not sure if I provided it, but I believe it was provided at some point.
Okay. And in your assistance in this investigation, is that a lead or an investigative tool that you ever used? Did you ever investigate Ms. Albright related to any connection to this murder?
Me, I did not. I was not in charge of investigating this homicide.
Okay. But you are the expert on ATK.
Yes.
And as far as you know, is there any other detective that investigated her potential role, if any, in this murder at all?
In this murder, I'm not sure.
Okay. You're familiar with a gentleman by the name of J. Dot?
Can you elaborate more? There's multiple.
There are multiples. Ja'Cory Rivers.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Nickname or street name or rap name, J. Dot.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. To your investigation in this case, in this particular murder, did you learn that J. Dot apparently may have sent Mr. Isaiah Chance money to pay for an Airbnb in this case?
Yes, I did learn that.
All right. Was he arrested in relation to this case?
Not to my understanding.
Is he a member of 1200 as far as you know?
I don't think he's a member status. That would be a better question for Detective Griffin.
Okay. Understood. In your investigation in this case or in any other case, have you ever come across... One second, Your Honor. Have you ever come across a young woman by the name of Kyla Enright?
I believe, I don't recall her name, but I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
Let me ask let me frame it a little bit better.
Okay.
Did you review any of the information that was taken from the iClouds of the suspects in this case?
Very limited.
Did you review any information from the iCloud of Mr. Sean Gaithright?
No.
None.
None.
Okay. All right, let's talk about what occurred after the murder in this case. Is it your understanding, based on information that you've received, that after this murder, that Mr. Isaiah Chance and Mr. Rashad Murphy made posts on social media sort of celebrating this murder?
Yes.
And specifically made posts of, not a football girl, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick,
Yes.
right? As a sort of celebration to successfully having committed this murder? Is that your understanding?
My understanding, yes. Brady and Belichick are, in the football world, are considered the GOATs, which would be like the greatest of all time.
Right. And that's not something that's uncommon. That's done often, right?
What's that?
Celebratory posts, if you will,
Correct.
on social media.
Yes, ma'am. That's
Right.
That's not uncommon.
Okay, and that's outside of the music, right? This is just like an Instagram story or some sort of post on social media.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Okay. And this will be done specifically by the ops?
Yeah, most times, or just somebody who didn't like them. And that might not necessarily be their op, or it's just somebody who is what would be considered trolling that
Okay.
group or that person.
All right. And in your investigation of this case, have you seen any posts? Do you have any evidence to suggest that Alicia Andrews ever posted anything celebrating the death of Julio Foolio?
Not that I'm aware of.
Right. And not as a potential op or someone trolling or in any way. You've never seen any posts that suggest that she celebrated this death after it occurred?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right. Now, at some point, you actually have contact with Ms. Andrews. You speak with her in an interrogation or an interview, right?
Yes.
All right. And during that interview, when you spoke with her, you asked her about her tattoos, right?
Yes.
You asked her about whether she had any tattoos related to Isaiah Chance or Gutter Man.
Yes.
And she actually opened her blouse to get ready to show you those tattoos, right?
Yes,
And you had to stop her because you didn't know what she was showing you.
correct.
So she wasn't hiding her tattoos from you.
No, she showed them when asked.
Okay. Now I want to talk a little bit about, it's going to sound a little vague, but subliminal language in general in relation to gangs.
Okay.
Is that something that you see kind of often, that they will use language maybe to try to avoid people knowing what they're talking about?
No, I wouldn't say it's too often, but they do use it.
Now I want to ask a very specific question. Subliminal language in, for example, jail calls,
Okay.
right? Is that something you see common or often?
Yes, ma'am, they try to get their point across without law enforcement understanding.
Right. And the goal of that is so you don't know what they're saying,
Yes.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
So they're not being explicit. They're not telling you their plans or anything like that, right?
No, ma'am.
They will be using like code words or symbols of some sort to.
Yeah, well, whatever they have created that they both people on each side of the lines understand.
Right. And when you are listening to a jail call, it's going to be on recording, right? Like it's a jump drive or a CD that you might have.
For us in Duval County, we have access to the system, so we listen to them once they are recorded. They are uploaded to like a website under the name.
Got it. Okay. And the bigger point is, with your access to these calls, you have the ability to go back, record, rewind, replay to decipher what is being said, right?
Correct.
So you're not in a situation where it's being said once in passing and you don't have the opportunity to hear it again.
Yeah,
That's
we're
not your situation.
Yeah, no, that's not our situation.
Okay. All right. Would you agree with me that there are a lot of unsolved murders and crimes related to this gang in Jacksonville, these gang issues in Jacksonville?
Yes, I would say that's a fact.
All right. And the cases that are solved, you sort of track those as a part of your investigation?
Yes.
Like you keep up with who's been, convicted or who's going to trial, who's off the street, who was let back out on the street?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're aware of someone by the name of Queso. You mentioned it before, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Queso, as far as you know, is a member of ATK?
He is.
Right. And you listened to many of Young and Ace's songs that mention Queso.
Yes.
You're familiar with the lyric in one of Young and Ace's songs where he says that he dropped $50K on Queso's lawyers?
I don't know the exact song that you're speaking of.
But you're aware that Young and Ace or ATK has paid for Queso's attorneys?
Allegedly. I don't know if that's the truth or not.
Okay. You're not aware, allegedly or in fact, that Young and Ace or anyone associated with ATK paid myself or anyone sitting at that defense table?
Objection, Your Honor, improper calls for speculation.
You can answer.
That would be between y'all and Young and Ace. I have no idea.
I'm asking you if you know.
I have no idea.
Okay. You don't know.
No, ma'am.
All right. All right, so we talked a lot about the way that the gangs are disrespectful to each other in music and back and forth, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But there are also some instances where the members of the gangs will communicate in a almost not threatening way on social media.
I've seen that. Yes, ma'am.
For example, on Twitter Spaces,
Yes, ma'am.
which is a new thing where you can kind of like, it's just a room where people
like
can
a
talk.
chat room.
Right, like a chat room. So you've seen that before, correct?
Yes.
And specifically, you've seen it between members of ATK or 1200 and 6 Block.
I have.
All right. One second, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay. Outside of the allegations in this case, you've never investigated Alicia Andrews in connection with any crime connected to ATK.
No, ma'am.
You've never investigated her in connection to any crime connected to 1200.
No, ma'am.
You've never investigated her in any crime.
Your Honor, improper bolstering.
Overruled. What's your next question?
Well, I guess 2 other gangs that I was going to list, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
In connection to 6 Block,
No, ma'am.
in connection to, I guess, what would be considered out east.
No, ma'am.
And in connection to any other gang in Jacksonville,
No, ma'am.
right? Outside of the accusations in this case, her name has never come up as a person of interest in relation to any of these gangs or the crimes that are connected to these gangs. I notice you keep looking at the state when I ask you questions.
Other than,
Proper comments.
Yeah, so you can answer the question.
other than this one, no. Other than this crime, no, I haven't.
Okay. You're not aware of any close or intimate relation or connection that Alicia Andrews has to anyone that was murdered in this gang war?
Murdered? No, ma'am.
Okay. You don't have any evidence that Alicia Andrews had any personal or close connection to any of the people that are mentioned in these music videos that we have watched?
Not the ones we've watched, no.
Any ones that we haven't watched?
Yeah, I would say there's a wide variety of them out there. I would say she has connections to ones we haven't watched.
And let me be specific. I don't mean her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance. So I'm asking if you're aware of any sort of personal, intimate relationship that Alicia Andrews has to any person that has been murdered and mentioned in any of these videos?
No, ma'am, not
Okay.
murdered.
All right. Other than the fact that she was dating Isaiah Chance, strike that question. You don't have any evidence that Mr. Chance has ever given her any sort of information that's not just public knowledge about this gang war?
Objection calls for speculation.
If you know
I-
what the defendant has ever told Isaiah Chance, go ahead and answer if you know.
I do not know.
In your work on these cases throughout Jacksonville, these gang cases, you've never discovered any motive for Alicia Andrews to want Julio Foolio to die,
No, ma'am.
all right? And other than Alicia Andrews being the girlfriend of Isaiah Chance, you don't have any evidence to suggest that she's somehow connected to gang activity at all.
No, ma'am.
No further questions.
Okay, redirect.
Detective Peter, have you made arrests for homicide? I'm sorry, excuse me. Have you made arrests for homicide or conspiracy to commit murder in Jacksonville in your time in the gang unit or before that from individuals that were related to these gangs that were not paid for defenses by Young and Ace?
Me personally, I've not been the affiant or like the author of any of homicide reports, but I've been involved in them, yes.
And have you had any cases where there was some paid-for defense team by Young and Ace that you can establish proof of?
I'm not aware of who pays for defense attorneys.
Is that, whoever's going to pay for an ultimate defense attorney, does that even have any part of your consideration regarding your investigation?
No, ma'am.
You were asked in relation to whether Miss Andrews has a close personal connection or relationship with anyone from these videos that had been murdered. How about people from these videos that have not been murdered and are still alive?
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to review the cell phone extractions or the data that's been collected from Miss Andrews' device?
Not the thing entirely, but I viewed some of it.
So some of the extraction pages or packets of information.
Yes, ma'am.
Some of the chats that were extracted from her device.
Yes, ma'am.
Based on the extractions from her device, is it apparent that she has knowledge of who Robert Howard is?
Yes, ma'am.
Is Robert Howard Kenny Capps?
Yes, ma'am.
And was Mr. Howard present at the scene of the homicide of Charles Jones in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Was Robert Howard convicted for the homicide of the co-defendant's brother, Rashad Murphy, convicted for his homicide, Spaz?
Yes, ma'am, he was.
When did that homicide occur? What year?
I'm not sure the exact year, but I know the facts of that case.
How did Spaz die?
He was at a Raines High School football game where he was shot and killed by Robert Howard and Adrian Gaynor, which is Bibby. Robert Howard ultimately served 5 years for it and was on probation at the time of this incident.
Based on your review of the cell phone extractions from Ms. Andrews' device, or at least a portion of those, are you able to also make a connection that Bibby is mentioned in that device?
Yes, ma'am.
How about ATK Keese? That's a member of a gang that's different from 1200. Was ATK Keese referenced in that device?
Yes, ma'am.
Objection to vague as to being just referenced in that device.
Whose device?
Was there evidence in Ms. Andrews' phone of her communications with ATK Keese and direct messaging in the Instagram?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there screenshots of those communications between this defendant and ATK Keese in that device?
Yes, ma'am.
How about screenshots of messages from that extraction between this defendant and 6 Block member Kay Shorty?
Yes, there was.
And is that the same Kay Shorty that you previously described had some kind of falling out or split off from 6 Block and is now We All We Got, YAWG?
W-A-W-G. That is the same case, Shorty. His name
I'm
is
not objecting
Therese.
to the signing question. You actually asked it to go sidebar.
No, the door was
And I
open.
would ask that
No,
I be allowed to make my arguments in front of the jury, Your Honor, or I would insist on the sidebar, based on this testimony.
no, I've ruled. No, the door's been opened.
It's not related to the door being open, Your Honor, that's why I'm asking for a sidebar.
I just am ruling the door's been opened, okay? No, you may proceed.
You indicated that your involvement in this particular case was attempting to share information about the gangs from Jacksonville to the Tampa officers. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have communications directly with Detective Ramos?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Was there another member of your unit that was actually providing or acting as the lead for the Jacksonville portion of assisting Tampa Police Department in this case?
That would have been Detective Drabeck.
So in your role, did you provide Detective Drabeck some assistance with providing whatever information you could from Jacksonville to Tampa?
Yes, ma'am.
You indicated that the homicide at the Rains High School was of Spaz. Do you know the real name of Spaz?
Joe Rod Adams.
And the relationship to Spaz and the co-defendants in this case, Rashad Murphy specifically, what is that relationship?
It's either his brother or cousin, I'm not sure.
Overruled. What was the answer?
It's either brother. It's a close family. It's either brother or cousin. I don't know for sure.
Is that the same for Davion Murphy?
Yes.
Would the lead detective who investigates 1200, Craig Griffin, have a better idea of the relationship between the two?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, you are providing information as you can as to what posts you believe were relevant from social media, and again, the information is history, as far as history is concerned from these Jacksonville gangs. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You were asked about whether you had the opportunity to speak with Alicia Andrews in Jacksonville. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Did that occur after her initial interview with law enforcement as it relates to her relationship to this homicide with Detective Ramos?
I'm not sure when Detective Ramos spoke to her. I can just recall myself and Detective Drabeck speaking with her.
And do you have an independent recollection of the interview that you had with her?
I wouldn't be able to tell you everything that happened in there.
Was it a formal interview?
I don't believe so. I'm sorry, about like formal, like I believe we Mirandized her and read her rights and spoke with her as she was under arrest or like being lawfully detained.
You were asked whether Alicia Andrews has any relationship to the attempted murder case that happened in 2023 of Charles Jones.
Yes, ma'am, I was asked.
You specifically were asked whether she had relationship to anyone who had been linked to that offense.
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor, mischaracterization of the testimony and of the questions asked by the defense.
Overruled. Go ahead.
You did you have an opportunity to review that investigation, and ultimately you responded to that scene?
I did, yes.
Did you develop potential suspects for that offense?
We did, based on the evidence that was recovered and tested.
And were there ballistics evidence recovered in this case that linked back to the individuals that you suspected had committed that offense?
There was, on the scene there, we recovered spent shell casings. Those shell casings were sent off to a lab and were tested through our NIBIN technology.
Objection, hearsay.
I'm going to sustain the objection at this point. I don't think the results of the testing have come in, correct?
They've not come into evidence, but they were already mentioned by the defense in opening statement, Your Honor.
Well, I understand that, but the results of the testing has not come in yet.
Yes, Your Honor. Just speaking about your investigation and the links of those persons. I understand it's an unusual question to ask you about who you suspected may have committed those offenses, but based on the questions you were asked by the defense, did you develop a suspect in the attempted murder of Charles Jones from October 2023?
Yes.
Objection.
And
Overruled. Go ahead.
do those persons have a specific relationship to this defendant, Alicia Andrews?
Yes.
Are they her co-defendants?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'd ask for recalls based on not being allowed to argue on my objections and what I need to get out before this witness.
Denied. Okay, may this witness be excused, subject to recall?
Subject to recall.
Okay, very good, thank you. All right, you're free to go, subject to being recalled.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
I'm sure whoever will let you know, they're going to recall you.
Thank you.
Okay, who's next?
Your Honor, the state's calling Dr. Ryan McCormick.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, sir.
Okay, have a seat, and I'm going to read the stip now, correct, Mr. Harmon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when the parties agree that certain facts are true, that is called a stipulation of fact. You must accept stipulated facts as having been proven. However, the significance of these facts, as with all facts, is for you to decide. In this case, the stipulated facts that you must accept as true are stipulation to identity. It is hereby stipulated by and between the defendant, Alicia Latoya Andrews, and the state of Florida, that Charles Jones, the person named in count 1 and 2 of the indictment in this cause, was found deceased on June 23rd of 2024 at 11606 McKinley Drive in Tampa, Hillsborough County, Florida. An autopsy examination was performed on the body of Charles Jones on June 23rd, 2024 by Dr. Noah Riley, D.O. We hereby certify that the foregoing stipulation is made in good faith and for the reasons herein alleged, dated this 27th day of October, 2025. And then the stipulation is signed by Mr. Harmon, Assistant State Attorney, Jeremy McClymont as attorney for the defendant, and the defendant herself, Ms. Andrews. All right, very good. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. Good afternoon. Would you please state your name?
Ryan McCormick.
Can you spell your last name, please?
Yes, McCormick.
How are you employed, sir?
I'm an associate medical examiner at the Hillsborough County Medical Examiner's Office here in Tampa, Florida.
And what do you do there?
So my job as an associate medical examiner is to perform autopsies and to determine cause and manner of death.
All right. How long have you worked for the Hillsborough County Medical Examiner's Office?
I've worked for Hillsborough County for just over 6 years.
Can you tell the jurors your educational background?
Yes, so I received my undergraduate degree in microbiology from the University of California, Davis. I then attended medical school and received my medical doctorate from Temple University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Afterwards, I went to residency for anatomic and clinical pathology over at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. At the end of my anatomic and clinical pathology residency, I took my board examinations in both anatomic and clinical pathology and passed those. The board exams are really just multi-day exams to show you're competent to go out and practice on your own. At the end of my residency, I then started a one-year fellowship in forensic pathology at the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office in Atlanta, Georgia. And at the end of that 1 year, I then went ahead and I took my board exam in forensic pathology and passed that exam as well.
So are you now board certified in certain areas of pathology?
Yes, I'm board certified in anatomic, clinical, and forensic pathology.
Doctor, how many autopsy examinations have you performed in your career?
I've performed approximately anywhere from 2,000 to 2,200 autopsies.
And have many of those involved gunshot wounds?
Yes.
Do you have an approximate number out of the more than 2,000 autopsies?
I typically do anywhere from 20 to 30 homicides a year, which are typically gunshot wounds. Probably like three quarters of those are gunshot wounds. And then I supervise trainees, essentially, who who are doing autopsies on gunshot wounds. And then suicidal gunshot wounds, I've probably done a few hundred in my career. So I've seen quite a bit.
Is the medical examiner's office here in Hillsborough County, is it related in some fashion as a teaching institution to the University of South Florida's medical school?
Yes.
How so?
So the medical examiner's office here, we teach resident physicians how to perform autopsies. We also teach fellows who have completed their residency how to be forensic pathologists and how to perform the job duties of a medical examiner.
And they get on-the-job training at the medical examiner's office here?
Yes, correct.
Can you tell the jurors, as far as medicine, the area of forensic pathology, what that deals with?
Yes, so forensic pathology is the study of natural disease and trauma, and how either the disease or trauma causes or contributes to someone's death.
Doctor, have you testified previous to today as an expert in the area of forensic pathology and medicine?
Yes, I have.
Approximately how many times?
Approximately a dozen times.
In what jurisdictions?
Both here in Hillsborough County and in Fulton County in Georgia.
The term cause of death, what does that term mean?
So the cause of death is defined as the initial disease process or injury process that starts the chain of events that leads to a person's death.
And the term manner of death?
So manner of death is a statistical classification scheme that medical examiners use. It's a medical classification scheme that kind of synthesizes all the data that we have from autopsy, from toxicology testing, from circumstances, and we try to fit deaths into these categories for statistical purposes.
What are the other manners of death other than homicide?
Besides homicide, there are natural manners of death, which are things like cancer or high blood pressure. We have accidental manners of death, which are things like car accidents, drug overdoses. We have suicide as a manner of death, which would be self-inflicted injury that led to a person's death. And then we have an undetermined category where we, after all of our investigation, we can't really determine or place it into one of those categories neatly, so we consider them undetermined.
Okay, so I'm going to draw your attention to this case, a case involving a decedent by the name of Charles Jones. Was Mr. Jones' body transported at some point to the medical examiner's office?
Yes.
Okay. And was there an autopsy performed on his body?
Yes, there was.
All right. And was that by Associate Medical Examiner Dr. Noah Riley?
Yes, correct.
Excuse me, okay. And Dr. Riley, is he an Associate Medical Examiner like you are?
Yes, he is.
At the Hillsborough County Medical Examiner's office?
Yes, he is.
All right. And due to his unavailability to come in and testify at this trial, were you assigned by the Chief Medical Examiner, and did you agree to review this case?
Yes, I did.
And I want to talk to you about that, but did you agree to review items in this case to come to your own conclusions as to cause and manner of death?
Yes, I did.
And is that a common practice in forensic pathology and here at the medical examiner's office in Hillsborough County?
Yes, it is.
When fellows that come in from the University of South Florida and they perform autopsies and render cause and manner of death, frequently they will take jobs in other locations throughout the United States?
Yes, that's correct.
And in those situations, normally do you and other doctors who have permanent positions here at the medical examiner's office, do you also substitute testify in those cases?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Is there ultimately, when a autopsy examination is performed, is there ultimately a report of diagnosis and autopsy on that decedent that is generated by the examining doctor?
Yes, there is.
And is the examination of the decedent in the autopsy procedure, is it commonly photographed or documented in a photographic manner by the medical examiner's office?
Yes, throughout the autopsy process, really throughout from the time the body gets to our office to the time we complete the exam, we're doing digital photography.
So in this case, we're dealing with Hillsborough County Medical Examiner Department file number 2405732 involving Charles Jones. That number, that file number, is that unique to him and to his file in your office?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And Dr. Riley did, in fact, generate a diagnosis and autopsy report on Charles Jones.
Yes, he did.
Does that report follow a certain format that is generally followed at the medical examiner's office?
Yes,
And have you had an opportunity to review that report?
I did. As part of my review, I reviewed the autopsy report, yes.
Did the autopsy report include anatomical drawings by Dr. Riley where he was describing, by drawing these and indicating where injuries occurred?
Are you referring to like the body diagram?
The body diagrams, yes.
Yes, so the case file did have the body diagrams within them, yes.
And did you review all of the photographs that were taken during the autopsy procedure in this case?
Yes, I did.
When the body is brought into the medical examiner's office, is it prepped in some form or fashion for autopsy?
Yes, we initially prep the body when it comes in. Before we unzip the body, we will actually perform an x-ray just to get an idea of what's inside prior to opening. Once we open it, we then take photos of the decedent, how they are. And then from there, we continue to process by undressing the body, removing any kind of, sometimes we, at scenes for homicides, we'll bag hands to preserve evidence. So we'll remove those bags and we'll photograph the hands as they are. We'll take fingernail clippings, we'll take head hair to preserve for evidence possibly in the future. And then we will usually remove him from the body bag, usually remove the person from the body bag and re-x-ray them prior to starting our external examination.
Is the body washed in its preparation process?
It is eventually, but typically what will happen is we'll do what we call the external examination first. So we'll go through and look head to toe and pretty much perform a physical exam documenting natural disease findings, trauma, physical identifying features. And then once we've significantly done that and photographed those things, then we would wash the body.
Okay. So I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So in the that external examination, would you document things such as tattoos and scars, things like that, surgical scars?
Yes.
And would you make observations of any external injuries, such as a gunshot wound that may have an external component?
Yes.
Okay. Is the body weighed and measured?
Yes, it is.
In this case, do you recall what Mr. Jones' height and weight were at autopsy?
He was 6'2" and 135 pounds.
Okay. Does the file, the medical examiner's file, also contain a death investigator report of scene investigation?
If there's a scene response, then yes, it will have a scene report or some kind of documentation of the scene findings.
In this case, was there a death investigator report of scene investigation?
Yes, there was.
And did you review that?
I did, yes.
So one of the forensic investigators with your office responded to this scene?
Yes, that's correct.
And when the body is transported from the scene, is the body typically placed on a sterile cloth or blanket of some type?
So typically when the body is examined at the scene, it is placed on a brand new kind of white blanket just to preserve any kind of evidence that may fall off the body while they're examining it on scene. And then they'll take the sheet with the body and put it in a brand new body bag and seal the body bag for transport to our office.
Okay. And there's some agency that the medical examiner's office contracts with that brings the body to the medical examiner's office from the scene?
Yes, correct.
In this case, when Mr. Jones' body was brought in and he was removed from the body bag, was there some object that was found in the body bag that had come off of the body?
So there was a fragment of a projectile found within the body bag when they initially were processing.
Okay. And was that ultimately collected by Dr. Riley? And I'll get to that in a little bit, but was it ultimately collected and packaged in some way?
Yes.
Okay. Based on your review, Dr. McCormick, have you come to an opinion as to Charles Jones, well, let me rephrase that. Have you come to an opinion as to a reasonable degree of medical certainty as to Charles Jones' cause of death?
Yes.
And what is that?
His cause of death is gunshot wounds to the torso.
And have you come to an opinion to a reasonable degree of medical certainty as to Charles Jones' manner of death?
Yes.
And what is that?
Homicide.
Now, the external examination that we talked about, was that documented in Dr. Riley's report?
Yes, it was.
And is there an evidence of injury section where wounds to the body may be documented?
Yes.
Now, in this case, did Dr. Riley document several gunshot wounds to Mr. Jones' body?
Yes, he did.
And is there past that, is there an internal examination section of the report?
Yes, there is.
And in the internal exam section of the report, did Dr. Riley document his findings and observations of his internal examination of Mr. Jones' body?
Yes, he did.
Now, would that include examination of things such as body cavities, the head, the neck, the cardiovascular system, the pulmonary system, internal organs such as the liver, the gallbladder, the pancreas, the spleen, the lymphatic system, and other systems and sections of the human body?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And is one of those sections referred to as the musculoskeletal section?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So I want to start under the evidence of injury section of the report dealing with a gunshot wound to the victim's chest. And I'll ask, first of all, did Dr. Riley label that in some form or fashion?
Yes, I believe he did.
Okay. And did he label it as, I believe, wound A?
Yes, I think that's correct.
Okay. And is that label there for any reason other than just documenting and distinguishing that wound from others?
Yeah, I think it's just for ease of understanding which wound he's referring to.
Okay. All right. So these letters, as we walk through this, they're not there sequencing the wounds as they were inflicted in time or anything like that?
Correct. Usually when we label wounds, it doesn't indicate severity or order of injury.
As part of that wound, was there an entrance wound on the upper right chest?
Yes, there was.
And was there any exit wound associated with that gunshot wound?
No, there was not.
May I have one moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, we would tender states 32A as an alpha through triple W, W as in whiskey.
Any objection? Anything more specific? Okay, admitted.
Publishing states 32A, and I'm just looking, you can look over your left shoulder there, Doctor. Do we see the wound on the right side of Mr. Jones' chest?
Yes.
And is it right here where my finger's pointing?
Yes, correct.
Now, we see another wound that I'm going to talk to you about a little bit later, this wound on the upper right arm. Do you believe that these two wounds are associated in some form or fashion?
Yes, I do.
Can you explain to the jury?
So the general, so first off, the wound on the right arm that you see in the exhibit is superficial. It's what we consider a graze wound. And so it doesn't actually enter into the right arm itself. And if you, just from this picture, can kind of see that it's kind of in a line with the entrance wound on the chest. So my opinion is that it's likely the same projectile or bullet that caused this injury pathway. So it grazes the right arm and then enters the right chest.
Okay. Can you tell us what internal structures of the body that projectile passes through during the infliction of this wound to the right chest?
So the injuries sustained to his chest included pretty much defects or perforations of the lungs, the heart, and the aorta.
Now, there's a documentation about a right second intercostal space where the bullet core and the jacket separated. First of all, the right second intercostal space, is that related to the rib cage?
Yeah, so the intercostal muscles are the muscles between your ribs.
Okay, the muscles between the ribs. So
Yes.
there is musculature there on the rib cage.
Yes, that's correct.
Bullet cores and jackets separating, is that an uncommon event?
It's not common, but we see it.
Okay. See it enough to where you recognize it when you see it?
Yes.
Okay. And the jacket portion of this projectile embeds in pectoral musculature somewhere in the body, is that right?
Yes, so it actually is pretty much gets caught in the right chest muscle, the right pectoral muscle.
And then the core continues to course through the body after that?
Yes, it continues on, and it's found later on the left side of the chest.
Now, you indicated that core passed through, I guess, the upper lobe of the right lung, the aorta, the heart, and I believe you said the lower part of the left lung?
I just said the lungs, but yes, I believe Dr. Riley documented it as the left, or the lower lobe of the left lung.
Okay. Was there also some type of injury to the pericardial sac?
Yes, there would be holes in the pericardial sac. The pericardial sac is pretty much this fibrous tissue or the tissue that surrounds your heart. And in this case, it had defects in it consistent with within the wound path.
And then it ends up in the musculature of the lateral left chest.
Yes.
Let me ask you first of all, would this wound have been fatal?
Yes.
The aorta, for those of us who don't know, what is that structure? What is its function within the human body?
So the aorta is like the main pipe that takes all your blood to all your other organs to every other part of your body. So it comes off of the top of the heart, and it's pretty much responsible for making sure that blood gets everywhere inside of you.
Is it a pretty large artery?
Yes.
Were there associated injuries to this wound, such as hemothorax?
Yes.
And hemothorax, what does that term mean?
Hemothorax, so hemo just means blood, and obviously thorax is chest. So really it's blood within the chest cavities. So you have some really minuscule space between your lung and the inside of your chest wall, and fluids can accumulate there. So there's a buildup of blood in those spaces.
Was there a documented amount of 700 milliliters of liquid and clotted blood in the right pleural cavity?
Yes.
What is the right pleural cavity?
Again, this is the right. The pleural cavity is the space between the lung and the chest wall.
And then there was a left hemothorax consisting of 1,100 milliliters of liquid and clotted blood in the left pleural cavity, so the same area on the left side of the body?
Correct.
And then another 50 milliliters of liquid and clotted blood in the pericardial sac, which you've already told us is a sac that it surrounds the heart.
Yes, correct.
So we're talking about almost 2 liters of blood just in this wound.
Yes.
Is that a significant amount of blood and bleeding?
Yes, that is.
What is the total volume in an average adult male?
The average adult male can have anywhere from 4 to 5 liters of blood.
Was the separated jacket and bullet core, were they recovered?
Yes, they were.
And were they photographed?
Yes, they were.
And were they sealed into appropriately labeled envelopes?
Yes.
So those would have been available for law enforcement to come and pick up?
Yes, so anytime we collect evidence such as bullet fragments, we tend to photograph them with the package that we label, and then we place them inside, seal them, and then we will turn them over to law enforcement at the completion of the autopsy.
So I'm going to publish States 32C, and this is just another view of this wound, this grazing wound to the upper right arm, and then the wound to the upper right chest. So the grazing wound, is that going to affect any structures other than the skin and the subcutaneous tissue underneath the skin?
No.
Okay, so that's just kind of going straight across the skin.
Yes.
All right. And, all right, let me move on then. Oh, with this wound, the way it entered the body and its direction, were you able to determine or, based on your review, the direction of that wound track?
Yes, I was.
And what was the direction of the wound track?
So when we give trajectories, just to understand this, is we don't know what position the person is in when they have these wounds inflicted, right? we move around a lot, we're flexible, and since we can't tell based off the wound track, we have to go by what we call the standard anatomic position. So standard anatomic position is standing upright with your arms extended by your side, your palms forward. So in relation to the standard anatomic position, this bullet path was right to left, front to back, and downwards.
Moving on to a wound that is labeled as B, as in Bravo. Was this a gunshot wound now on the opposite side of the body, the thoracic, lower left back?
Yes, this was a gunshot wound to the back.
All right.
On the left side of the back.
Publishing states 32E. Is that wound reflected here in this photograph, at least the external portion of the wound?
Yes.
Okay. And we have these two wounds that I'm pointing out on the lower left back. Were both of those gunshot wounds?
Yes, the wounds that are labeled 3 and 4 were both entrance gunshot wounds.
Okay. And one of these is the B wound that we're talking about?
I believe it was number 3 was the B wound.
Okay.
Or what Dr. Riley had distinguished as B.
All right. So the one that is, for lack of a better way of describing it, above the number 4 wound.
Yes.
That is an entrance wound. Is there an exit wound component to that gunshot wound?
No.
Were there any exit wounds in any of these wounds?
No.
So this wound, what part of the body, what anatomic structures did the projectile pass through?
So this wound passes through the left kidney. It passes through the diaphragm, which is your muscle that helps you breathe, and it passes through the left lung.
Okay. Is this a fatal wound?
Yes, it can be.
Now, the diaphragm, is that an important structure as far as its function and it being injured? Does it have an effect on the body when it's injured like this?
Yes, it would compromise to some degree your ability to breathe.
Does the diaphragm, does it assist or does it work with the lungs in breathing?
Yes, so the purpose of the diaphragm is it's a muscle, and as it contracts and relaxes, it actually allows air to enter your lungs and then pushes air out.
And in this wound, was there a projectile that was recovered?
I believe there were fragments recovered from this within the left pleural cavity.
A deformed jacketed bullet and a bullet core fragment were recovered?
Yes,
Okay.
that sounds correct, yes.
And that would have been in the left pleural cavity, which you've already described, the space between the lung and the chest wall,
Yes, correct.
and the left kidney respectively, I believe. Were those projectiles also appropriately sealed into appropriately labeled envelopes?
Yes, they were.
All right. What was the direction of that wound track?
So again, in relation to standard anatomic position, this wound track traveled from back to front. It traveled, I believe it was from right to left and upward.
All right.
I'm sorry, left to right and upward.
Left to right and
Yes,
upward.
left to right and upward.
So it's on an upward trajectory through
Yes,
the
it
body.
was pretty steeply upward.
All right. And let's move on to the wound below that, number 4, which is labeled C in the report. Is that also an entrance gunshot wound we're looking at?
Yes, that is.
And is there, well, you've already told us there's no exit wounds in
Yes.
this autopsy. Okay. Did this wound, was the wound track similar to the one in the B wound or the number 3 wound,
Similar.
as far as its direction?
Yes, in terms of directionality, it was the same.
Okay. What internal structures were affected by that wound?
It only struck the left kidney.
So Mr. Jones suffered 2 gunshot wounds to his left kidney.
Yes.
Okay. And what were the projectile or projectiles that caused that wound collected by Dr. Riley?
Yes, there were fragments that were collected by Dr. Riley in that one path.
And Did he follow the same process of placing them into a sealed envelope and marking it appropriately?
Yes.
Okay. With both of these wounds, were there associated bleeding, I guess, or associated wounds?
So yes, with the with gunshot wound labeled number 3 on here, or on this this photograph, it probably has some bleeding within that left pleural space. I don't recall him mentioning blood within the abdominal space. But there would be some kind of soft tissue hemorrhage. There was, based off the picture, some hemorrhage around these injuries.
And you indicated that the wound track or the wound direction in number 4, or label C within the report wound, which is below the number 3 or B, that it had a similar direction.
Yes, it was back to front, left to right, and upwards as well.
Okay. So I want to ask, with these wounds to both the chest, the trajectory of the wound through the chest and the A wound, and then this B and C wound on the victim's back, I want to ask you if those wounds would be consistent with having been caused while the victim was seated in a car by shooters in front of the car, while the victim was both turning to avoid the gunfire and then trying to turn his back to the shooters and crawl through the front 2 seats into the back seat.
Yes, they could be consistent with that.
Especially the fact that he would be bent over. Would that, in your opinion, would that account for this upward trajectory, or could it, through his body?
Yes.
Was wound number, wound labeled C, the second wound to the back that we've talked about, which is number 4 in that photograph, was that a fatal wound?
So it wasn't immediately fatal. There is a lot of variables with that injury. It depends on how much he bleeds from his kidney and how long it would take him to get care. He could survive from that wound, but he could also succumb to it too. It would be really hard to determine.
Okay. These wounds to the back and to the front of Mr. Jones' body, how long would it take after infliction of these wounds, especially if they happen in rapid succession, to cause death?
It would only take seconds with the amount of blood loss that he had or he sustained.
Okay. And could he have lost consciousness in seconds?
Yes.
With these types of wounds, what is the actual, when you've talked about gunshot wounds being the cause of death, what is the actual mechanism of death?
So mechanistically, there are 2 things at play here. One is blood loss. So if you don't have enough blood in your vessels, you can't maintain your blood pressure, and you can't get blood up to your brain or to your heart. And then the fact that the one bullet in his chest passed through his heart muscle, it caused structural damage to the heart, and so you're going to be more prone to having an abnormal heartbeat. So both are, and combine that with the blood loss and him not getting enough blood to his heart, you kind of have both of these mechanisms happening at once.
So I want to walk you around the victim's body with photographs, and I'm going back to 32E. There was another wound here at number 2, and states 32F, just more of a close-up of it, states 32G, more of a close-up. Is that wound something that is consistent with being caused by shrapnel?
Yes, it is.
And were there other wounds on his body that were consistent with having been caused by shrapnel?
Yes, there were.
Okay. States 32P is in Peter. This incised wound to the victims, that's his left elbow, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
All right, and this would be the interior or the outside of his arm?
This would be the outside of his arm, yes.
Okay. Is that a wound that is consistent with having been caused by shrapnel?
Yes, it could be consistent with that.
States 32Q, just a close-up of it. States 32S. What are we looking at here, Doctor?
This is the this photograph shows the outside of his of Mr. Jones's right ankle,
Okay.
or lower leg.
What kind of wounds are those?
These are what we would consider as abrasions or superficial defects, possible lacerations. They would be consistent with shrapnel as well, or some kind of projectile fragment hitting his body.
32T, just a close-up. Back out. And then above those two wounds, we see this little wound up here. Is that another injury that would be consistent with shrapnel?
Yes.
And that's seen in 32V in close-up. V is in Victor.
Yes.
States 32X. There was an injury to the victim's right hand, right here in the palm side of the hand. What type of injury is that?
This again looks like an abrasion to his hand.
Okay, 32Y. Just a close-up of that. Something else that could have been caused by shrapnel?
Yes.
These shrapnel wounds, would they be consistent with both projectile shrapnel and intermediate barrier shrapnel, such as automotive glass?
Yes, they can be from automotive glass, from the bullet itself or the projectile itself, or even from plastic or any other material.
States 32AA, just a photograph of the item that was located in the sheet within the body bag with the body.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm going to show you some photographs of Mr. Jones' clothing. 32K is in kilo, double K. Sock from his leg. Would this be consistent with those two abrasions on his lower right ankle, the shrapnel coming through the cloth and causing those injuries?
Yes, so these could be consistent with those injuries.
When a person suffers either shrapnel or gunshot wounds and they're clothed, is it not uncommon to find defects in their clothing?
No, it's not uncommon.
States 32 double B, we see a hole here with the blue background and another one up here. Again, defects in the clothing where the bullet may have passed through the clothing.
Correct.
In the musculoskeletal section of the internal exam, did Dr. Riley notate that he had recovered a projectile from the victim's lower leg?
Yes, correct.
And I think he described it as a remote injury.
Yes, that's correct.
Would that be consistent with a shooting event that had occurred 9 months earlier where something or a projectile had been lodged in the victim's leg and left there?
Yes, there was, from the photographs, there was significant scar tissue around this fragment of projectile, which indicates to us that it's been there for some period of time.
States 32, L is in Lima, L. We see the victim's lower leg having been entered during the autopsy. We see this grayish area here. Is that the projectile?
Yes, correct.
And so that's deep in that muscles of his lower leg. Is that correct?
Yes.
32M is in Mike, double M, and that would be the item there.
Yes, that's correct.
Was that item also collected by Dr. Riley and placed into an envelope that was appropriately labeled?
Yes, it was.
So when we were talking about the appropriate labeling, states 32 double P, as in Paul, we have here an envelope that's labeled right leg, and we have a sticker on here that has the victim's name, the medical examiner's case file number. I can rephrase, Judge.
Thank you.
Is this label that's on the envelope, does it contain the medical examiner's case file number?
Yes, it does.
Does it contain the decedent's name?
Yes, it does.
Does it contain Dr. Riley's name
Yes, it does.
and the date of autopsy?
Yes.
And is it labeled with an agency's name there?
Yes, that's correct.
And that's your office's designation?
Overall, you can answer that one.
Yes, that's our office address and name of our office.
Does the labeling have a place for the doctor to indicate the position of the body that the item was recovered from?
Yes, it does.
And is it indicated on this envelope?
Yes, it is.
And that's from the right leg.
Yes, correct.
And does it indicate whether it's a bullet or a pellet or a jacket or a fragment?
Yes, it indicates that it's a fragment.
States 32Q, double Q, photograph. Now, would this be the fragment from the lower right leg that we were just looking at, the remote injury?
I don't recall. Usually we take a picture with the envelope and the projectile that will indicate what piece went into which envelope. It actually might be.
Actually, the remote injury, I think, is from the left leg. These would have been fragments in the right leg. I guess we were looking at the right leg, those abrasions.
So the initial image you showed with the muscle being incised, that was the left leg. That was the remote injury. There was additional shrapnel that was recovered from the right leg as well, though.
And in this photograph, we do see down here the item that was recovered?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And is that what you were talking about, usually photographed together?
Yes.
Okay. So with the remote gunshot wound to the left leg, we're going to look at that photograph. And there appears to be an item down here. Would that be the item that was recovered?
From the left leg, yes.
States 32 double V. Once the items are placed into the envelope, is the envelope sealed in some form or fashion?
Yes, it is.
How is it sealed?
We use red evidence tape, and we'll seal along the seams on the back of the envelope, and then we'll sign and date our initials on the back, overlying the red evidence tape.
And this is 32 WW, W is in whiskey. Does that show the evidence tape and Dr. Riley's signature and the date?
Yes.
And is he following your standard operating procedure as far as sealing those envelopes?
Yes.
States 32 double X. Are these envelopes of several areas? Let me rephrase that. Are these envelopes of items that were collected from several areas of the body?
Yes.
And starting in the upper left here, if you could walk us kind of in a circle here, clockwise, and just tell us the areas.
Sure. So we have fragments recovered from the left kidney, a bullet recovered from the left chest wall, a bullet recovered from the body bag, a fragment recovered from the left pleural cavity, a jacket recovered from the right chest, a fragment recovered from the, it says periaortic tissue, and a fragment from the sock.
Okay. And so not only is the area of the body that the item is collected from labeled, but also he's checking off what type of item it is.
Yes, correct.
Whether it's a bullet or a fragment.
Yes, correct.
Or jacketed.
Yes, it could be. I don't know if he actually labeled. He did. Jacket to the right chest, yes.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to show you what's been labeled as 32. I believe this is 32A. There's a smaller envelope inside of the bigger envelope, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you recognize the envelope?
Yes.
And what is the envelope?
The envelope is a fragment that was collected from the left pleural cavity at the autopsy of Mr. Jones.
Okay. Your Honor, we would tender States 32A.
Any objection? Admitted. Is it, what is it, 32, you said 32A, but I think it's 30, what does it state on there?
I'm sorry, 33A.
Okay. Any
All of
objection
these
to,
are 33.
any objection to 33A? Okay, admitted.
So 33B. The envelope has a smaller envelope. Do you recognize that, Doctor?
Yes.
And what is it?
This is the envelope that was contained the bullet from the left chest wall that was recovered at the autopsy of Mr. Jones.
Your Honor, we would tender States 33B.
Any objection?
No objection.
Admitted.
33C. Do you recognize the smaller package?
Yes. It's the bullet that was recovered from the body bag of Mr. Jones.
And 33D. Do you
Are you
recognize
moving
it?
that into evidence?
I am, Your Honor. Tendering it for admission.
Any objection?
And 33D.
33D is the jacketing that was recovered from the right chest of Mr. Jones.
Any objection? Admitted. All of those? 33A through D?
Move to publish 33D as in Delta. C, moving to publish. And this is the item that came from the body bag,
Yes.
and it's described as a bullet by Dr. Riley.
Yes, correct.
And 33B, publishing from the left chest wall, and it's a bullet, correct?
Yes.
And then just the back of the envelope. The autopsy in this case actually occurred on June 23rd of 2024, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, I think I had said the 24th. I think one of these may be dated the 24th. Was Mr. Jones' date of his age documented?
Yes.
What was his age?
I believe he was 26. Do you mind if I refer to the record or to the?
Oh, that's fine if you want, if it will refresh your memory.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 26.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 26.
And states 33A. From the left pleural cavity, a fragment or fragments,
Yes.
and the back. Thank you, Doctor. I don't have any further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, cross-examination.
Did you perform the autopsy in this case?
I did not.
Another medical examiner did.
Correct.
All right. And how many gunshot wounds did Mr. Jones have?
In my opinion, he has three gunshot wounds.
All right. And so he passed away as a result of those gunshot wounds.
I'm sorry?
He passed away as a result of the gunshot wounds.
Yes, correct.
That's what the core of your testimony is about today, correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. But you're not here to say who shot Mr. Jones?
That's correct.
All right. And so you don't know which person that was involved actually pulled the trigger that the gun that was used to kill Mr. Jones?
Yeah, so that's beyond the scope of my job. My job is just to determine cause and manner of death.
All right, no further questions.
Okay, thank you. Redirect.
No, Your Honor, he may be released.
Okay, thank you. You're free to go.
Thank
All right, state clerk, next witness.
State Police Detective Craig Griffin.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you may proceed.
Good afternoon, sir. Would you state your name, please?
It's Craig Griffin,
And where are you employed?
Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
Do you have a particular assignment with the Sheriff's Office?
Yes, ma'am. I'm currently assigned to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Gang Investigative Unit.
What is your title in that unit?
Gang detective.
How long have you been in the gang unit?
Currently, a little over 4 years.
And what was your prior assignment in advance of the gang assignment?
Prior to the gang unit, I was assigned to patrol on the north side of Jacksonville. Also was assigned to the narcotics unit or internal affairs unit, and I was also in the jail prior to going to the street.
And during your time on patrol, did you have an opportunity to work the areas related to specific gangs that are tracked by your unit?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you specifically assigned to a particular unit out of the Sheriff's Office?
Yes, ma'am, I currently am.
And what is the unit to which you're assigned?
The gang or the unit?
I'm sorry, the gang.
The gang, 1200 out east.
And that would be inside of the gang unit. I'm sorry about that.
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to review what has been previously admitted as State's Exhibit 84B, the gang chart that was created to represent the members or some of the members of 1200?
Yes, ma'am.
If you'll look to the screen and publishing 84B, have you had a chance to see that?
Yes, ma'am.
And in your role with the gang unit, did you help or assist to create this chart, at least as it relates to the relevant members of 1200 as related to this investigation?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
We have depicted on the chart a Rashad Murphy and a Davion Murphy. Over the course of your investigation, have you been able to assess what, if any, nickname was provided to you or that you learned to be assigned or associated to Rashad Murphy?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that?
Ghost 187.
What, if any, relationship is there between Rashad Murphy and Davion Murphy?
I believe they're blood cousins.
And what, if any, relationship is there between both Mr. Rashad Murphy and Davion Murphy to Joe Rod Adams?
If I stand correct, I believe Joe Rod and Rashad are brothers, and then Davion and Joe Rod are cousins.
Is this information that you often collect from social media or videos?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you oftentimes also have the ability to reference, for example, obituaries that are posted?
Yes, ma'am.
And in this particular case, was there an obituary for Joe Rod Adams, a.k.a. Spaz?
Yes, ma'am, there would have been one.
And is Spaz the individual that was killed at the Rains High School football game?
That's correct.
Did you, in this particular case, have any involvement with the investigation that was conducted into the homicide of Charles Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
And what particular involvement did you have?
I conducted a traffic stop on a Shane Gathright.
And when you conducted that traffic stop, were you accompanied by other law enforcement officers?
Yes, ma'am.
As you all made contact with the driver, Mr. Gathright, did you ask him to exit his vehicle?
We did, yes, ma'am.
And did you complete a search of that vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
Having attended that traffic stop, are you aware of whether any of your fellow officers were wearing a body-worn camera?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 102 through 104, so take a look at that and let me know if you recognize those images.
Yes, ma'am, these are from the traffic stop.
Do they fairly and accurately represent the beginning of the contact that you had with Sean Gathright on at this vehicle stop, excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time, state seeks to admit State's Exhibits 102, 103, and 104.
Any objection? No objection. Admitted.
In publishing State's 102, are you able to see the screen okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And what date did the traffic stop of Sean Gathright actually occur?
Looks like June 26th
Of what year?
of 2024.
Were you working in your capacity as a gang unit detective
Yes,
when
ma'am.
this stop was conducted?
Yes, ma'am.
You indicated that Mr. Gathright was asked to exit the vehicle. Is that what's depicted in, excuse me, is that depicted in State's 104?
Yes, ma'am.
Before he exited, were you able to make contact and ultimately identify the driver of the vehicle,
Yes.
confirming it was Sean Gathright in State's 103?
Yes, ma'am.
Specifically as it relates to your work with, is that the only actual involvement that you had, roadside or otherwise, with the Tampa Police Department case, other than providing background or historical information about the 1200 gang?
That, and then also the interview of Rashad Murphy.
And that would have been subsequent to the vehicle stop with Sean Gathright?
Yes.
And who, if you recall, attended that interview of Rashad Murphy with you?
It was myself and Detective Drebeck.
And where did that interview occur?
That took place at our CJIC unit.
Was that interview recorded or documented in some way?
Yes, ma'am. Audio and video recorded.
Referring back to your responsibilities with the gang unit, how long have you been assigned to the Group 1200?
Going on almost 2 years now.
And are you familiar with whether 1200 used to be represented by a different name or the members therein?
They had a couple of different names, yes, ma'am.
In advance of 1200 being the leading name as referred to that group, what was Rashad Murphy, for example, or Ghost associated as?
Another group called 187 Boys.
As the groups develop into bigger groups or grow in size, do they ultimately assume these additional names? So from 187 to 1200?
Yes, ma'am.
In this particular case, would that mean that Rashad Murphy no longer considers himself 187?
Not 187, but also 1200.
What does 1200 specifically actually represent?
It's a block located in Jacksonville, Florida, at the corner of First and APR.
And would you say that that's a neighborhood or an area of Jacksonville?
Yes, ma'am.
Does 1200 associate with ATK or its members?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you personally in your time or work with the Jacksonville Gang Unit seen videos and social media posts which depict both of those groups in the same video or post?
Yes, ma'am.
Do ATK and 1200 share a common enemy in Jacksonville?
Yes, ma'am, they do.
And who is that common enemy?
It will be members from 6 Block.
Did you have an opportunity to review some photographs that were taken of Davion Murphy at the time of his arrest?
Yes, ma'am.
I may have one moment.
Yes.
showing you what's been marked State's Exhibit 69A through O. You should take a look at these photographs and let me know if you recognize them.
Yes, ma'am. They're from the interview room inside the CJIC unit.
And Davion Murphy is a member of which particular group?
He's a person of interest, not exactly a member just yet of 1200.
Are you familiar with the statutory criteria for gang membership?
Yes, ma'am.
And does Davion Murphy meet the statutory criteria for that gang membership?
Yes, ma'am.
What elements of that criteria does Davion Murphy meet?
He has hand signs. He also has tattoos and then associations.
So essentially, he meets the criteria to be a gang member by statute?
To be documented as a gang member.
Overruled, go ahead.
I'm
Answer
sorry.
the question. Does he or doesn't he?
He does, yes.
To be documented?
Yes, ma'am.
But has that documentation actually occurred?
No, ma'am.
As it relates specifically to the footage from the interview room or the documentation from the interview room, State seeks to admit actually State 69.
Any objection?
No objection.
Okay, admitted.
Publishing 69A, you mentioned that he would meet that criteria based on hand signs. Can you tell me what it is about the hand sign that's depicted in this particular image that would meet that criteria?
So his right hand, he's holding up the 1200 hand sign. So the single finger showing the 1 and then the 2 over here to represent 12.
So 1 and 2, so 12.
Yes, ma'am.
And how did that relate back to 1200 as you provided or described that to us?
Well, 1200 is the group itself, and so being without adding the 2 zeros, 12.
And 69B, was this screenshot actually taken from the interview room after Mr. Murphy's arrest?
Yes, ma'am.
Are interviews like these, photos like these, documented in your day-to-day activity as a gang detective?
Yes, ma'am.
And in the chart that was previously presented, 84B, is it common for the members of 1200 to utilize that same hand symbol when posting on social media or in music videos?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any specific relation as to when they do that?
No, ma'am. Just when they're on camera or taking a photo of any sort.
In your activity and based on your training and experience, if you see this hand sign, is the individual throwing it related to 1200?
Yes, majority of the time, yes, ma'am.
Are there times in which the opposing gangs will throw their rivals' hand signs?
In a disrespectful way, yes, ma'am.
So do you view those items or posts in context
Yes.
to determine the nature of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Would it be common for a rival gang member to switch to the direct opposition? So from 6 Block, for example, to 1200?
If he knows, go ahead.
You said, is it common?
Yes.
No, it's not common.
In addition to the screenshots from the surveillance footage, were you also able to view some photographs that were taken by Detective Nieder of Davion Murphy?
Yes.
In 69D, are you able to tell us what, if any, significance was related to the tattoo on Mr. Murphy's neck?
It says, rest up, Avery McKnight.
Is Mr. McKnight an individual who is alive or deceased?
Unfortunately, he's deceased.
And do you know the circumstances of his homicide?
I believe.
Overruled, just limited, just explain this.
Was the circumstance of his homicide something related to the gang war in Jacksonville?
Yes.
(69E), specifically as it relates to the tattoo across the bottom of Mr. Murphy's midsection. are you familiar with an individual that went by the moniker of Suge?
Yes, ma'am.
And was Suge a name that is regularly utilized or mentioned by 1,200 members?
Yes, ma'am.
Is Suge also a person or an individual that's disrespected by their rival 6 Block?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, previously had Davion Murphy and Rashad Murphy represented 187.
Yes.
At some point, do you document Davion Murphy's transition to 1,200?
Document it, no. Monitor it, yes.
So is there some mechanism by which you all record updates that you'll see or items that you think may prove valuable in when you do updates to documenting or undocumenting specific members?
Well, yes, because everybody has to be redocumented every 5 years.
So is there a log or some record that you can keep for documentation or items that would go towards potentially meeting that criteria?
Yes, it's called an FIR.
So having received these, would you have added essentially a note regarding Davion Murphy and his tattoos or known tattoos had you not had them before?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there another tattoo in state 69H that was depicted on the left side of Mr. Murphy?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you familiar with Jacoby?
Yes, long live Jacoby J. I'm not familiar with that Jacoby.
Jacoby Wright or Jacoby J?
Jacoby was hook on the end, and then you have Jacoby Wright at the bottom. But I'm not familiar with Jacoby Wright.
Okay. But did you have an opportunity to view this photograph?
Yes.
Were you able to view a photograph of tattoos that were taken on the bicep and shoulder area of Mr. Murphy as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Specifically, do you recognize the image that's depicted on the top of Mr. Murphy's shoulder?
Yes, ma'am. It says long live Joe Rod.
And are you familiar with Joe Rod?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the same Joe Rod Adams that was killed at the Rains High School football game?
Yes, ma'am.
Were there several Suge tattoos across Mr. Murphy's body?
Yes, ma'am.
And lastly, do you recognize the name Corbin from your investigations?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is Corbin?
Corbin is the deceased member, Corbin Johnson.
We heard some music videos earlier today referencing Corbin's kidnapping. Was there some kind of relationship between the gang rivalry and the death of Corbin Johnson?
What do you mean?
Meaning, was it related to this gang beef or gang war?
That, as far as I know, his homicide is
If he knows.
unresolved.
Correct. Has Corbin Johnson's homicide been the subject of drill raps back and forth between ATK and 6 Block?
Yes, ma'am.
That's my fault. That was not a clear question. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, Cross.
Alicia Andrews, she's not a gang member, correct?
No, sir, not that I know of.
She's not a gang associate either?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, and that's according to the Florida statutes?
Not that I'm aware of. Not on my radar.
All right. These 1,200, when did it start?
Early 2000s?
Early 2000s?
Yes.
So this is going back, you're saying more than 20 years?
Roughly, yes, sir.
All right, so when was it the 187 boys?
187 would have came around probably 2015, 2010, 2015.
Okay. So earlier when you said that, I guess it was Ghost, Rashad Murphy, he was
Yes.
part of 187 boys?
Yes.
So do you know what time frame he was a part of 187 boys?
I don't, not offhand.
All right, so he was a part of 187 boys and then he switched over to 1,200? How does that work?
So 1,200 as a whole, it's a neighborhood. It's a gang. It's a documented gang. And then within there, they have select groups. Okay, so you have 187 boys. You also had another group referred to as A Team, and then you had another group referred to as Cut Circle. They're all from 1,200.
So it's not that he switched from 187 to 1200. He was always a part of 1200.
Correct.
And I guess in 1200 there may be even more specific groups.
Yes.
All right. And those groups are based off of what, streets?
Streets, maybe just something that they come up with.
Okay. All right. And not all of these people, they're not all born gang members, right?
No, sir.
All right. They become gang members at some point in their lives?
Being documented according to Florida State statute.
Okay. This is the 1200 chart. You're the gang detective for 1200, right?
Yes, sir.
So on this, I guess, chart here, 4 of these individuals, they're no longer alive, at least 4?
At least 4. You give me a second, I can. I count at least 6.
6, I have, from your testimony, you can add or something to it. But I have Shug is no longer alive.
Correct.
Davion Murphy had his name tattooed on him. Is that
Correct.
I saw Corbin, right? He's no longer alive.
That's correct.
That's the unsolved murder you were discussing.
Correct.
And that's the one that Charles Jones, Julio Foolio, was rapping about in his songs,
Yes.
saying that Corbin got kidnapped.
Yes.
All right, and found in a field, where his bones were found in a field.
That's correct.
All right, and Spaz was killed at a football game. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
At Rains.
Yes, sir.
That's the school where Alicia Andrews went.
If you say so.
Okay. Well, Spaz went to Rains.
Okay.
I'm asking.
That I don't know. I believe he did. Him along with Kenny Capps, or I'm sorry, Robert Howard.
Robert Howard. Okay. And Robert Howard is accused of killing Spaz.
That's correct.
All right. We have this Leaky.
Yes, sir.
He passed away.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I have Leaky. I have Spaz, Corbin, Shug. Who are the other 2?
So at the bottom you have Darian Self, Michi, and then Brandon Bevel, 5, who are also deceased.
You said Brandon, deceased.
Yes.
Darren, Michi,
Deceased.
deceased. That's also one of the ones that Julio Foolio was rapping about in the songs.
Yes.
And then what was the third one?
No, that should be
I think
6.
you mentioned 3 on the bottom. Did you?
He said
Or just
2.
2.
Okay, so just those 2. All right. And the others, are they still in 1200 that are on this chart?
They're still, yes, sir. Well, so J-Dot, not so much. He would be
J-Dot,
associated to a different gang now.
J-Dot, is this Jacory Rivers?
Correct.
He's in a different gang now?
Yes.
What gang is he in now?
I would possibly tie him to the Bloods gang.
The Bloods gang?
Yes.
So he's no longer with 1200.
No,
Do you know why he's no longer with 1200?
I don't know.
And Bloods gang, is that a Jacksonville gang?
No.
These are young men, right?
Yes, sir.
Like early 20s?
Early to late 20s.
Early to late 20s.
Mixture of.
All right. And there are other individuals on here who went to Rains High School, correct?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
And if I told you that Alicia Andrews went to Rains High School, would you have any reason to doubt that?
No, sir.
In high school, were all of these individuals, were they gang members in high school?
Not that I recall.
So at some point down the road, maybe they become gang members after they leave high school or when they drop out. Is that possible?
Or during high school, because
Sometimes.
you have Instagram, you have social media.
So sometimes they become gang members in high school, right?
Yes.
Sometimes after high school.
Yes, sir.
All right. You know of Alicia Andrews to use any hand signs?
No, sir.
You know of Alicia Andrews to be in any music videos?
I've never seen her in one. No, sir.
And did you know of Alicia Andrews prior to this case?
No, sir.
But you knew of these other individuals in 1200 prior to this case, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
Okay. Redirect?
Yeah, Your Honor.
May this witness be excused?
Yes.
Thank you. You're free to go.
I appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Who's your next witness?
Detective Christopher Dravick.
Sure. Quick one? Okay. Yep, we'll take just a quick 2-minute break, okay?
All rise.
One, Your Honor.
Just this next detective?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
I got them already. Oh, you already? Yes, thank you. Yes. It's on the right one.
Okay, we can't get her in here. Oh, there's, oh, okay. Okay, sure. Sorry. She's here. Okay, we ready? Okay, we ready to go?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. All right, let's bring in our jury.
All rise. All jurors into.
Okay, very good. Welcome back. Everyone have a seat. State who's your next witness.
Detective Christopher Drabeck.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you may proceed.
Good afternoon, sir. Please state your full name for the jury.
My name is Chris Drabeck.
And where are you employed?
I work for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
Are you also a member of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Gang Unit?
I am.
How long have you been employed with JSO?
Going on 9 years since May of 2017.
And are you also assigned a specific gang or gangs in the unit?
Yes,
Who are you assigned?
I'm currently assigned a criminal gang called 21st Street and another criminal gang called Rack Chasing Family.
So not any of the ATK 1200 or 6 block gangs that were referenced specifically in this case.
No.
Are you familiar with those gangs?
Yes,
Do you work alongside the detectives who are specifically assigned to those gangs?
I do.
And were you familiar enough with those gangs and in your workings with those detectives to create the charts that we previously admitted as State's Exhibit 89 in this case for the gangs?
Yes, we facilitated the charts together.
Did you maintain a relationship with the lead detective from the homicide investigation from Tampa?
I did.
And was that Juan Ramos?
Yes, ma'am.
From what point at learning about the death of Charles Jones did you begin working with the Tampa Police Department?
The morning they called me on June 23rd.
And what was the nature of that call?
So originally my supervisor reached out to me because he was notified first, and my sergeant provided me with information of contact info for a Tampa Police Department detective. And I reached out to that detective, and they supplied us with information relating to the death of Charles Jones. And they were inquiring about why this may have occurred.
Did you have any knowledge that Charles Jones was going to be in the Tampa area before you received a call about his death?
Yes, we did observe posts on his social media where he was advertising his trip down to Tampa prior to him going in reference to him celebrating his birthday.
How do some of these rappers or even gang members actually tell people about their events or their appearances?
Social media.
And in this particular case, did you have an opportunity to see some flyers that were posted to Mr. Charles Jones' account?
I did.
What is the screen name for the account itself? Did he use his legal name or the moniker of Julio Foolio?
He used his rap name, Julio Foolio.
I'm showing you what's been marked as 95B, 1 through 10, and 95C, 1 through 4.
Okay.
Did you have an opportunity to view Charles Jones's Julio Foolio Instagram account in advance of him coming down to Tampa?
Yes, I routinely would monitor Julio Foolio's Instagram account prior to this.
Even though he was not one of your assigned gang members, you would be monitoring his account?
Yes.
Why is that?
Just, I think it's imperative for detectives assigned to the gang unit to have information and knowledge about gangs, especially a person as prominent as Julio Foolio was. Even though I'm not assigned the 6-block gang, it is important to have working knowledge outside of my assigned gang, so I am able to assist in the event that I was called upon, for example, this instance. So.
And in this particular case, after you were notified of the death of Charles Jones, did you have an opportunity to visit his Instagram page as well?
Yes.
And is what was depicted in State's 95B indicative of the recordings or screenshots that were taken from that account after the homicide?
Yes.
Was Mr. Charles Jones's Instagram account public?
It was.
So you were able to access it by just searching the name, essentially?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, Your Honor, the state seeks to admit State's Exhibits 95B and 95C.
Any objection? Okay, 95B and 95C are admitted.
As it relates to the flyers that went out for Mr. Jones' birthday, I'm showing you 95C. Is this the flyer that you mentioned was posted that notified you, at least, that there was going to be some kind of club appearance in the Tampa area?
Yes.
Do you recall when this post made it to social media?
I know it was sometime prior to June 23rd. I believe it was a week or so before.
And did you have an opportunity to see from the flyers at least the location, exact location of where Mr. Jones was expected to appear?
He's advertising the club teasers.
Was the information that you had regarding 6 block members being in Tampa only limited to Mr. Jones, or did you receive information that additional members would also be present at that time on June 22nd?
There was an additional post that he had made in reference to his travels down to Tampa, and we did see another person in that post, and it was Robert Howard.
Showing you C2. Is this the post that you're talking about?
Yes, the gentleman on the right with the yellow hoodie, that's Robert Howard. He goes by the nickname Kenny Caps. He's a 6 block gang member.
And you had this knowledge in advance of the actual trip down to Tampa, is that right?
Yes.
Now, both of the appearances that were annotated in the post that he was giving, did you provide any information that you can recall about rivals or about his arrival to Tampa?
I did not communicate with Tampa prior to this.
In your review of the Julio Foolio Instagram account after the homicide, is this when you first looked to the account what you would see in opening it?
Yes.
And were you able to actually look back to view in B2 here additional posts that were made by Mr. Jones?
Yes, he had quite a few posts.
Was there one post in particular that became relevant to your case or investigation?
Yes.
And can you show us which post that is that's depicted in this?
Starting from the top, at the top in the middle, you have the teasers flyer that he had posted. If you go one post below that, so directly in the middle, it's a image of his face. That's an Instagram reel he posted.
What's an Instagram reel, if you can describe that for the jury, please?
It's a video posted on his Instagram account. But more specifically, this appears to be a shared Instagram reel that was originally posted on a separate social media application called Triller. And Triller's similar to TikTok. It's just videos.
As a part of your review of this account, were you able to actually click on that reel itself?
Yes.
What information does the reel give you when you actually select it or click on it? Like, what information are you provided? Is there a caption? Is there likes? What do you see when you get to access these?
So when you click on the post, you obviously watch the video, and then just below it there is a caption notated by the user of the account, who is Julio Foolio, and that caption reads, "They thought I checked out that last time. We don't celebrate foot shots," with some emojis.
Are you familiar with the earlier attempt on Charles Jones's life from October of 2023?
Yes.
What was the injury that Mr. Jones suffered as a result of that incident?
In October of 2023, Charles Jones was shot in the foot during an attempted murder on his life.
As it relates to this particular investigation, did your involvement also include the impounding of a device related to Alicia Andrews?
There was a cell phone device seized from her, yes.
Did you have an opportunity to review some of the contents of that device upon its impound and extraction?
I did conduct what I would describe as a preliminary review of the cell phone device, so I wouldn't suggest it was a full review of the download, but I did look at it.
Does the Sheriff's Office also have digital forensics analysts that will actually help to go through that data with you or for you?
We do, yes.
And did those individuals provide you tips or information about items of potential evidentiary value that can be found on these devices?
Yes.
Showing you what has been marked for identification as 76B5 through 7. Do you recognize these extractions from that device?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, at this time, the state seeks to admit states 76B5 through B7.
Any objection
Yes, for some of there's a relevance objection.
as to which one? It's 5 through 7.
Six.
Okay, come on up. Okay, so 76B, 5 through 7 will be admitted.
In publishing 76B5 was there a screenshot from the post that was referred to on the reel from Charles Jones's Instagram account retrieved from that device?
Yes.
And this is the device that was identified to the defendant, Ms. Andrews.
Yes.
And did you have an opportunity to review the actual original post from State's 95C?
And Ms. Ismer, I'm sorry for the record, what exhibit did you just show this witness?
This is 76B5.
Thank you.
Did you have an opportunity to review both the images that were retrieved from Mr. Jones's social media account, meaning the reel that was posted to his account, against the screenshot that was retrieved from Ms. Andrews' device?
Yes.
And did you have an opportunity to compare them against each other?
Yes.
In viewing 95C previously admitted and 76B5, were these images accurately retrieved, the items on the left from Mr. Jones's Instagram and the item on the right from Ms. Andrews' phone?
Yes.
Was the content as it relates to Ms. Andrews' device limited to the 2 days that you had, or that that device had been active?
Yes.
And were you able to ascertain the device setup date for that new device?
I believe it was June 26.
On June 27th, did you seize that device for Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Were there additional items of potential evidentiary value retrieved from that device for Ms. Andrews?
Yes, ma'am.
In 76B6, were you able to identify the individuals depicted in this image saved from that same device?
Yes, I do.
And who is the individual depicted to the left?
That is a gentleman named Xavier Harrison. He is a ATK gang member who goes by the nickname Fat Zay.
And who is the individual, if you know, identified to the right?
That is a gentleman named Torgon Williams, and he is also an ATK gang member, and he goes by the nickname ATK Red Dot.
Has ATK Red Dot been referenced or mentioned in some of the social media videos that were drill raps or disses posted by Six Block?
He has been referenced in music historically, yes.
Lastly, in states 76B7, do you recognize any of the individuals depicted in this image from the extraction?
I do. The gentleman on the left is a guy named Gerard Adams. He goes by the nickname Spaz, and he is associated with the 1200 group gang.
Is Spaz also related to any of the other co-defendants in this particular case?
Spaz he's deceased now. He was murdered, I believe, back in 2018. But he is related to Rashad Murphy and Davion Murphy.
Did you have an opportunity to see and interview Davion Murphy?
I did.
And are you familiar with how he looks?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen a photograph from the arrest of Davion Murphy?
I have.
And have you had an opportunity to review the Ring camera footage from the Airbnb in Tampa?
Tampa did share videos with us recovered from the Airbnb. I did review them, yes.
I'm showing you states 38A and B as well as 9B-C. Do you recognize those images?
I do.
And do they fairly and accurately represent the individual that you know to be Davion Murphy?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, state seeks to admit states 38A and B, as well as 90C.
Any objection? Okay, admitted. You said 38A through B, and then,
90C.
okay, thank you. That's admitted as well.
Publishing 90C, sirs, this the image that you were referring to when you mentioned the arrest photo.
Yes.
And sometime after Mr. Murphy's arrest, did you have an opportunity to interview him?
I did. I interviewed him shortly after this picture.
And was that interview audio and video recorded?
Yes.
We've seen some images from an interrogation room with Mr. Murphy here. Was Mr. Murphy captured making any kind of hand signs during the course of that interview or thereafter?
He does throw up what's recognized as the 1200 hand gang sign.
Are you familiar with Rashad Murphy?
Yes.
And does Rashad Murphy have any nickname that you are aware of?
He goes by the nickname Ghost.
During the course of your investigation, do you have contact with Detective Ramos and agree to assist by writing several search warrants?
I did assist by drafting quite a few search warrants.
Did your involvement in this case actually begin on the day of the homicide with the assistance that you provided to Tampa?
Yes.
When you saw or received the notification that Mr. Jones had died, did you do any follow-up work in reviewing the social media accounts of members of 1200 or ATK?
Yes.
And after it was relayed to you that Mr. Jones had died, were there members of both groups taking responsibility for this homicide?
They were doing what we commonly see when a prominent gang member is murdered. They were trolling on social media by posting laughing emojis and other related celebratory posts.
So when you are actually notified, is that by Detective DeJesus from the Tampa Police Department?
Yes.
In starting with your involvement, did you have any information about a possible suspect vehicle?
They did share with us at some point early on that there was potentially a black Chevrolet Impala involved.
And in that initial call, were you able to relay any information about potential leads from incidents that you had investigated or seen on social media in the weeks leading up to the homicide?
Yes.
What information was it that you were able to obtain in your day-to-day duties related to the homicide or leading up to it?
During the conversation I was having in the first day that they were reaching out to us, I did share with that detective that I had screen recorded a conversation that Julio Foolio was having approximately 2 weeks prior with another person named Isaiah Chance on Spaces, which is the formerly known as Twitter. It's an open chat room where people can enter and speak to each other.
Is it a video of the person speaking when you're in Spaces, or do you just hear voices?
It's just their voice. So they log into Spaces, which is previously Twitter. They'll log in with their account and join these open chat rooms and just communicate. So you're only hearing their voice as they talk to each other.
Did you actually document that Spaces communication between Isaiah Chance and Charles Jones?
I screen recorded it and preserved it, yes.
And would that have been on June 6th of 2024?
Yes, it would have.
Without telling me the contents of it, were you ultimately made aware of a communication between Sean Gathright and Rashad Murphy on the same date regarding the Spaces conversation?
I was made aware of that, yes.
In the hours after Charles Jones's death, did you see posts made to social media by Isaiah Chance?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the handle associated to Isaiah Chance's Instagram account?
Yes, it's Gutazay with a bunch of G's.
And do you know the social media handle for Rashad Murphy?
Yes, it was Ghost187.
Had you, in your review of Isaiah Chance's Instagram account previously or since this homicide, documented any interaction on social media between Isaiah Chance and Rashad Murphy?
Can you ask that again?
Yes. Was there a social media post to Isaiah Chance's Instagram account tagging Rashad Murphy?
Yes, there was.
And would it have been tagging his handle?
Yes, his username.
During an earlier interview that you had with Mr. Murphy, did you make any kind of observations that were unique that you actually relayed to Detective Ramos as it relates to this investigation?
Yes, when he was signing his constitutional rights form, which is just a form we go over with people prior to interviewing them on a criminal investigation, there's a portion of this form where they have to sign confirming they acknowledge all of their constitutional rights that have been advised to them. And I observed he was signing the form with his right hand, and it was I couldn't read it. I asked him if he was okay, and then it occurred to me later in the interview that he was doing that on purpose because one of the shooters in this investigation is left-handed, and I was able to obtain a separate interview where Rashad Murphy was read his rights and he signed that form with his left hand. So it was apparent when he was signing the form in front of me, he was signing it with his right hand. I couldn't read anything he was writing.
So in your earlier, or in the earlier interview of Rashad Murphy, would that have been before the death of Charles Jones in an unrelated investigation?
Yes.
What
Overruled, go ahead.
were you able to observe the hand that Mr. Murphy signed his documents with?
He signed
Overruled, go ahead.
it with his left hand on that occasion.
Then, during the course of your investigation or assistance to the Tampa Police Department investigation for the homicide of Charles Jones, was Rashad Murphy interviewed?
Yes.
And did he utilize a different hand in signing those forms?
He was attempting to sign it with his right hand.
On June 26, just a few days after the homicide, did you learn of any particular developments out of Gwinnett County, Georgia, that were relevant to the investigation?
Detective Ramos did share with us that Rashad Murphy had been taken into custody in a county in Georgia.
Was Rashad Murphy taken into custody by himself?
No.
Was he accompanied by another individual?
He was with a lady named Charmaine Steiger.
Do you know Charmaine Steiger to be the mother of Mr. Murphy's children?
She is.
As a part of that arrest, was Ms. Steiger and Mr. Murphy's cell phone seized?
It was.
And as you're assisting Tampa Police Department, if items of evidentiary value are seized in conjunction with the Tampa investigation, do you take those items into evidence and then ultimately provide them to the detectives in Tampa?
Yes.
On the same date of June 26th, did you learn of a development as it related to the Chevy Impala that Detective Jesus had mentioned was a potential suspect vehicle?
Yes, there was further communication that that black Chevrolet Impala had been dropped off in a separate county in Florida by Sean Gathright, and he switched it for a gold Toyota 4Runner.
So the black Chevy Impala, may I confirm that that was located in Polk County?
That sounds right.
Was Sean Gathright ultimately stopped in a vehicle stop in Duval County in that 4Runner?
Overruled, go ahead.
He was.
And was that also on June 26th?
Yes, ma'am.
Pursuant to a search of that vehicle, were you notified of the findings or the items that were located within the gold 4Runner that Sean Gathright was stopped in?
I was notified.
Within that vehicle, was there a cellular device that was taken into evidence?
Yes.
Was there also a new phone in a box?
Yes, there was.
Was there ballistics evidence that was impounded?
Yes.
And did that include spent shell casings from the interior of that vehicle?
Yes, there were spent shell casings in a box inside of the vehicle he was driving.
Did you relay the findings to Detective Ramos?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you aware of whether each and every one of those exhibits or items were impounded at that time?
They were.
By June 27th, the Thursday after the homicide, did you develop sufficient probable cause with other members of JSO to execute a search warrant on the residence of Sean Gathright and Isaiah Chance?
Yes.
Was there any evidence of potential or any potential items that you were specifically searching for based on a lack of evidence at the original homicide scene?
So Tampa did share with us through the video surveillance at the incident scene, as well as their information regarding the crime scene, that there appeared to be a lack of shell casings from where the shooters were shooting. In their opinion, based off that fact and the video evidence, they believe that the shooters were equipped with brass catchers on their rifles.
Were you notified at the execution of those search warrants that brass catchers had been discovered inside of the safe in Sean Gathwright's residence?
Yes.
Were you also notified that several items of spent and live ammunition were located?
Yes.
What about firearms specifically? Were there firearms located inside that residence?
There were multiple firearms.
As it relates to the 2 rifles that were obtained or seized, did you transfer custody of those rifles to the Tampa Police Department?
A detective within the Crime Gun Intelligence Center did, but that was done.
Upon the execution of these search warrants, was it organized that the warrants would be executed simultaneous with each other
That was the goal.
to have them executed at the same time?
Yes.
Is that a tactic that is typically enacted?
Overall, go ahead.
That was a plan decided by our commanding officer, our lieutenant. He wanted both search warrants executed at the same time.
Are you familiar with the circumstances of the warrant execution at the Isaiah Chance residence?
Yes.
Was the goal of having both warrants executed simultaneously actually accomplished?
It was.
Was there any delay at the Chance residence before the warrant could be executed?
Overall. Overall, go ahead.
There was a significant delay for the occupants of Isaiah Chance's house to come out.
Who were the occupants of Isaiah Chance's residence?
Overall, go ahead.
Isaiah Chance and Alicia Andrews.
Upon the execution of the search warrant, once they actually exited the residence, upon the execution of the search warrant, is this the day in which the device from Miss Andrews, from which we've seen the extraction reports, came?
Yes.
In addition to the search warrants for the physical electronic devices that you helped or obtained, did you also obtain a search warrant for iCloud?
There were additional iCloud warrants completed.
Would that have been for Mr. Chance, Davion Murphy, and Miss Andrews?
Yes.
After obtaining those warrants for iCloud, do you send those out, or is that an immediate return? How do you get that information?
The search warrant is drafted, signed by a judge, and then ultimately sent to Apple, requesting the digital data associated with that account. And then at some point following that, it's typically 2 to 3 weeks, Apple will provide a digital return, which we can download the files and review the accounts that way.
The actual Axiom iCloud returns, would that be something that was reviewed, extractions, reviewed, reports created by the Tampa Police Department?
Yes.
While you were waiting for the return of those search warrants, did you have an opportunity to utilize something called cell phone mapping?
Yes.
And can you explain to the jury what that is?
It's taking the digital data provided by cell phone carriers that is related to the location data for your cell phone device, and we were able to map it and observe approximate locations of a cell phone device at the desired search time.
Were you involved in reviewing the data for the cell site from Rashad Murphy's device?
I did.
What, if any, information did you learn from that data?
We observed that Rashad Murphy traveled to a Walmart on the Jacksonville's South Side area and was there for a short period of time and then left. So we knew the date and time that he went there. It was the day before, it was June 21st of 2024. And so we traveled to Walmart, made contact with one of their associates and requested to view their video surveillance.
You also have an opportunity to save the video from the Walmart visit.
I did.
Sure, U.S. would mark the states 99 and 100.
Okay.
The item contained on the disc of the Walmart recording, are you the person who made the recording from the Walmart?
Yes.
And is the item in 100 a fair and accurate representation of a screen grab from that recording?
Yes.
At this time, state seeks to admit states 99 and 100, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
Be admitted.
You were able to get a recording from the video surveillance from Walmart, right?
Yes.
And from that were still shots created of Rashad Murphy inside in states 100.
Yes.
Did you provide this information from the June 21st, roughly 11 p.m. visit to Walmart to Detective Juan Ramos?
I provided him the video, yes.
Had you had an opportunity at this point when you received this cell site data to review the videos from the Julio Foolio murder?
I had observed the video of the murder prior to obtaining this, yes.
And was there a reason that you provided these particular images to the detective?
Yes.
What was that?
The clothes that Rashad Murphy is wearing in his trip to Walmart appears to be the same clothes that he's wearing when he kills Julio.
Were you also able to see the device that Rashad Murphy was using in his Walmart trip?
Yes, he's using the cell phone device that's ultimately seized in Georgia.
For the surveillance footage that you saw from Walmart, was Mr. Murphy by himself?
He was walking around the store by himself.
Did you also obtain the receipt from the transaction that Mr. Murphy had at this time?
Yes.
All of this information ultimately being provided to Detective Ramos?
Yes, ma'am.
Lastly, was it confirmed by you that arrest warrants had been obtained for all 5 of the defendants by July 27th of 2024?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, cross.
All right, Detective Drabeck, you are the lead in JSO for this case. Is that correct?
I would say I helped the most, helping Tampa facilitate this case, yes.
You spoke to Detective Ramos from Tampa Police Department the most. Is that correct?
I'm not quite sure how much he spoke to the other detectives within our unit. I know it was significant. I know my communication with Ramos was quite a bit. I don't know how that pales in comparison to the others.
All right. Well, you gave Detective Ramos most of the information from JSO, right?
For the most part, yeah.
All right. And you are in charge of what gangs in Jacksonville?
21st Street and Rack Chasing Family.
All right. Are any of those 2 gangs associated with in any way ATK or 1200 or 6 Block?
No.
They're like completely separate.
Yes, sir.
All right. And did 6 Block have any other rival gangs outside of ATK and 1200?
I would say those 2 were the most noteworthy.
Most noteworthy, but were there other rival gangs to 6 Block?
Not that I can think of.
All right. I want to move to a different topic. You said that there were celebratory posts from people in ATK, maybe even 1200, after Foolio died. Is that correct?
There was a tremendous amount of posts following his death.
A lot of people made posts celebrating the fact that Charles Jones was dead.
Yes.
A lot of people wanted him dead, apparently.
Yes.
All those people were not guilty of killing him, though. Is that correct?
No.
Alicia Andrews did not make any celebratory posts about Charles Jones's death. Is that correct?
Correct. Not that I'm aware of.
All right. Not that anyone is aware of, correct?
Yes, sir.
There's an exhibit that we were just looking at. It's 76, states 76. B. 5 through 7. I'm going to show you these one by one, starting with 5. This is a document. It says, you see at the top it says Cellbrite? Oh, hold on. You see at the top it says Cellbrite?
I see that, yes.
All right, and Cellbrite is a cell phone reader software. Is that correct?
Yeah, Cellbrite's an application investigators use to review cell phone extractions.
All right. And so this Cellbrite report here is an extraction of, or at least a portion of an extraction of Alicia's phone. Is that correct?
Yes.
And this little photo here, that's a photo of Julio, Charles Jones?
Yeah, so that's a thumbnail of what the data to the left is referencing.
All right. And this thumbnail, that thumbnail was created on June 26th?
I can't say yes or no to that.
All right. Is that what the extraction says, that it was created on June 26th?
That's what the extraction
But you're not
notates.
sure if that's how, if that's the way to correctly read that or interpret that extraction?
Sure. The best way to describe this is that this is, from what we know, because the device was activated on June 26. It appeared that the user of this cell phone device was backing up their prior iCloud. So if you were to buy a new phone, you would transfer your data through your iCloud download. So it's transferring your contacts, a lot of your old media files. So I can't say for certain when this post or this image was captured originally, but due to the transfer of data on June 26, that's why it's timestamped that way, so I can't say when it was captured.
All right. So essentially, someone who had this device downloaded, I guess, their iCloud onto the device.
Yes.
And then, potentially, this thumbnail that you see of Julio Foolio came from that download. Potentially.
Yes.
So we don't know when this picture of Julio Foolio was actually viewed and downloaded to the device or to the iCloud.
That's fair.
Right. And this is the thumbnail, but a bigger picture of it.
Yeah.
Do you know if Alicia Andrews, so let me tell you, you don't know if Alicia Andrews accessed this photograph?
I can say that the device she possessed, the iCloud that is downloaded onto that device and where this image came from was from her iCloud, but specifically, did she personally view it? I can't say that.
You're aware that her boyfriend used to use her phone, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Another extraction, another thumbnail. You see that? This is 76B6.
Yep.
Same sort of thing. June 26th is the creation date. You see that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And this is the picture of, you said, Red Dot, right?
The gentleman to the right in that image is
I'll show you.
Torgon, ATK Red Dot.
Okay. And the fact that this photograph is in Alicia's phone, what relevance does that have to this case?
Well, Fat Zay to the left, he was in music videos with one of the defendants.
He was in a music video with one of the
Eight-
bands?
Yeah, Isaiah Chance.
Oh, was he in a music video with Alicia Andrews?
No, you're just asking the significance. And then also ATK Red Dot, he just plays a role in a lot of the historical Jacksonville gang war.
All right. Do you have any communication between Red Dot and Alicia Andrews?
Not that I'm aware of.
Do you know if she even knows him?
I don't know that.
Do you know if she knows the bigger individual in the photograph, Alicia Andrews?
I don't know that.
Another self-right extraction report. All right, June 27th. You see that date?
I do.
And the thumbnail there, you see it?
Yes.
That thumbnail is of an individual named Spaz.
To the left, yes.
Spaz is on the left. Who's on the right, you know?
I believe that's Corbin.
Corbin,
I believe so, yeah.
another individual who died. This is,
Yeah.
that's the one that Charles Jones was rapping about being kidnapped and found in a field of his bones.
Yeah, it's the circumstances around his death, yeah.
And do you know if Alicia Andrews knew either of those two individuals?
I don't know that, no.
But that's what was pulled from her phone, those three thumbnails, correct?
Yeah.
You also mentioned that you got the iCloud return for Alicia Andrews, is that correct?
Yeah.
And what I mean when I say iCloud return, or when you received the iCloud return, that's everything that was in Alicia Andrews' iCloud. You got a copy of it.
It was provided, yes.
All right, like over 100 gigabytes worth of data.
I don't recall how large the data was.
All right, but it was a large file.
I don't recall.
You remember it took a long time to download?
I don't remember.
All right. And you don't recall finding anything noteworthy in that iCloud?
No, those data files were provided to the Tampa Police Department for review.
All right, so you didn't look at them at all?
No.
You searched, or at least you were involved in the search of a few different homes, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you actually search, or were you present during the search warrant of Sean Gathwright's home?
I was present when we made contact with his mother. I read the search warrant to her, but I was not present during the actual search of his home.
Where was his mother when you read the search warrant to her?
Outside of the house.
And you read the search warrant to her before the search?
So it was previously discussed, we were facilitating two search warrants at the same time, one at Isaiah Chance's house and also one at Sean Gathwright's house. Once both scenes were secured, I went to Sean Gathwright's house, made contact with his mother because I had previously met her before, so I had a rapport with her. I read the search warrant to her, which is a common practice we do before we enter someone's home. And then upon reading her the search warrant, I, for lack of better terms, passed off that search warrant to other detectives. And then I traveled back to Isaiah Chance's home to help facilitate the search of his house.
Okay, so you searched Isaiah Chance's home, but not Sean Gathwright's home?
Yes.
All right. Who actually searched, which detective searched Sean Gathwright's home?
The affiant, Detective Parker.
So he'd be the one to ask about where the items inside the home were found.
Or the crime scene detectives.
All right. Do you know if the firearms in Sean Gathwright's house, the ones that were in the rifle, that were in the safe, do you know if those were found in his mother's room?
I was informed that the safe was his mother's room.
So the rifles and the shotgun, those are in his mother's room.
Correct, in the safe.
His mother is former military.
She is.
She also had access to a bunch of ammunition, is that correct?
I did learn that there was an abundance of ammunition inside of their home.
All right, so the arsenal of weapons and ammunition that were found in Sean Gathwright's home, were you ever able to determine what actually belonged to Sean Gathwright from what belongs to his mother?
No.
But surely, out of all the pictures, you've seen the pictures from the
Yes.
search warrant, correct?
Yes, sir, I have.
So out of all the pictures, you're not able to say what actually belonged to Sean Gathright
No.
and what belonged to his mother.
Correct.
And Alicia Andrews' home, that was never searched, correct?
Correct.
All right. Why not?
Well, law enforcement is held to a standard of having probable cause in order to search a home. Absent having probable cause to apply for a search warrant that would then be signed by a judge, you would simply ask for consent to search a home. I do not believe that probable cause ever existed to search the residence of Alicia Andrews.
So there was never even probable cause to search Alicia Andrews' home?
As far as I'm aware, no.
All right. Not even till this day?
Correct.
You mentioned on direct in October 2023 shooting of Charles Jones, correct?
Yes.
An attempt at his life,
Correct.
and that crime has gone unsolved.
Yes, there's been no arrest on that case.
All right. And there's also no probable cause to arrest anyone for that case at this point,
Correct.
2 years later.
Yep.
Certainly, Alicia Andrews is not a suspect in that shooting, correct?
Not that I'm aware of.
You have any indication that she even knows about that shooting?
I don't.
Do you know of a woman named Aaliyah Albritton?
Yes.
One second. Showing what's in evidence is State's Exhibit 84C. Now, you're not the gang detective for ATK, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. But do you know who Young and Ace is?
Yes.
All right. That would be this individual here,
Yes.
the so-called leader of ATK?
I don't know if he's the leader, but he's certainly the more well-known,
prominent
prominent.
one?
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right. So, you're aware of his brother, this Trayvon Bullard?
Yes, sir.
Nickname is Quan Quan?
Yep. 2 times.
All right. And Trayvon Bullard, and Quan Quan, 2 times, he dated at one point Aaliyah Albritton, correct?
I was made aware of that, yes.
All right. And Trayvon was killed. Do you know who killed him?
There's been rumors, but no one's been arrested.
All right. No one's been arrested, but 6 Block takes credit for the killing. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And Charles Jones himself rapped about Trayvon's killing
Yes.
and has made disrespectful music towards the death of Trayvon. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And did you speak, by any chance, did you speak to Aaliyah in this case?
No, sir.
All right. When you were investigating, you were aware that Aaliyah was with Charles Jones when he was shot and killed?
Yeah.
All right. And that was despite the fact that Aaliyah dated someone that Charles Jones rapped about killing.
Okay.
You're aware of that?
Yeah.
All right. Did you investigate Aaliyah for any potential motive for killing Charles Jones in this case?
That is a fair question. You're using the term investigating. This homicide occurred in Hillsborough County, right? So the duties of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office gang unit specifically was to assist Tampa Police Department in their investigation. At no point, were we referencing Aaliyah Albritton for an interview. So no, she was not talked to on our behalf.
So fair question, fair answer. You are in Jacksonville. This murder happened in Tampa, right?
Yes.
So you're not responsible for any investigation really in Tampa, is what you're saying?
The legal jurisdiction of a homicide occurring in Hillsborough County has no implications for law enforcement in Duval County.
But just in the simple terms, you're not responsible for the investigation in Tampa.
No.
That's Detective Ramos.
Correct.
Another individual, he's the lead.
Right. And he's employed in Hillsborough County.
Understood. All right, so Alicia has an iCloud and
Miss
a phone.
Andrews.
Two different things.
Miss Andrews.
Sorry, Miss Andrews has an iCloud and a phone. Two different devices that would provide two different extractions. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And you also, in addition to the iCloud, you reviewed Alicia Andrews' phone, correct?
Portions of it.
Portions. All right. In the portions that you reviewed, there's no agreement in the phone that shows Alicia Andrews agreed to kill Charles Jones?
No.
No message showing that she's involved in some conspiracy to kill Charles Jones?
No.
No indication that Alicia Andrews knew Davion or Rashad Murphy prior to the killing of Charles Jones?
Not from her device.
And nothing in her device that would show or indicate that she had any sort of relationship with Sean Gathright prior to the murder of Charles Jones, correct?
Correct.
You listened to several jail calls in this case, right?
I spend a large amount of my time on jail calls
How many jail calls do you think you listened to?
over the course of my career.
No, just in this case.
I would estimate 50 to 100.
All right. And you began listening to those jail calls in the early stages of the investigation, correct?
Yes, sir.
To try to figure out maybe if there's someone in jail talking about who killed Charles Jones.
Yes.
You did get some information pertinent to this case through listening to the jail calls, correct?
Yes.
All right. That information led you to Isaiah Chance.
It was just another piece of evidence. I don't know if that led me to him, but
Well, there was some evidence from the jail calls that you uncovered that made you believe that Isaiah Chance might be a suspect, correct?
yes.
All right. But never anything in the jail calls that led you to believe that Alicia Andrews was a suspect, right?
Correct.
No mention of Alicia Andrews in any of the calls?
None.
You've watched several music videos with all this gang activity back
Yeah.
and forth?
Yes, sir.
Alicia Andrews is not in any of those videos, correct?
Correct.
She's not seen holding any weapons in any of these videos.
Right.
She's not seen throwing up any gang signs in any of these videos.
I already said she's not in the videos.
All right. She doesn't have any photographs online, throwing up any gang signs, correct?
Correct.
Alicia Andrews is not a documented gang member, is that correct?
Right.
She's also not even a gang associate, correct?
Correct.
No further questions.
Okay, redirect.
Very briefly, Your Honor. You were asked about some jail calls that you reviewed in Duval County. Were those jail calls that occurred immediately after the death of Charles Jones?
Yes.
And were those jail calls between gang members or their family members identifying Gutazay or Isaiah Chance as the person who committed the murder?
Yes.
Were any of those jail calls with Isaiah Chance or Gutazay talking about committing the murder?
Like how he committed it?
No, specifically to Isaiah Chance. Made to Isaiah Chance, or were they made between other gang members?
Other parties?
Specifically as it relates to the search warrant executed on Sean Gathwright's residence, you were asked about the safe in the mother's room.
Okay.
Did you also intercept a jail call as it relates to the safe that was located in the house?
Say that again?
Did you locate a call that was made by Sean Gathwright to his mother about a safe located in the house?
It was Isaiah Chance.
To Sean Gathwright's mother?
There was a jail call following a search warrant between Isaiah Chance and his mother.
And what was the nature of the call? What were they talking about?
He was inquiring if the law enforcement had found something, and she told them on the phone that we had not. So we went back out there to search again.
And pursuant to the details of that call, was the item that was described located in that location still?
No.
You were asked about the contents of Ms. Andrews' physical device. That is the download for which you had access and could review. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is it also correct that that device was active for less than 24 hours?
Yes.
So from the time that that device was turned on for the first time and the time that it was seized by law enforcement was less than 24-hour period?
Yes.
And that would have been between June 26th and June 27th?
Correct.
Now, you are not able to date, based on the impound of the items that were collected and the upload of the iCloud, you are not able to date most of those photos because they would just reflect the date that the iCloud was downloaded to that device, correct?
That's correct.
Are you at least able to date the image that depicted the reel from Mr. Jones's Instagram account based on the records from Instagram and publishing states 95C3?
So we do know that that post was made to his account in February of 2024.
So at some time between February of 2024 and when that phone was impounded in June of 2024, that item was preserved or saved to the device?
Yes.
You were asked about probable cause to search the residences associated to this case. Was there sufficient evidence by way of cell site data that put the devices at both Sean Gathright and Isaiah Chancer's residence, as well as video footage that put all of the suspects or some of the suspects at those locations?
Yes.
Did that assist in allowing you to get probable cause for those locations?
Yes.
Was there direct evidence that the defendants in this case had been to Ms. Andrews' residence for you to apply for a search warrant of that residence?
No.
And when you specifically indicate that you had been to Sean Gathright's residence, have you had an opportunity to review the surveillance footage which is depicted in State's Exhibit number 98 from the security footage at Sean Gathright's residence?
I've seen those videos, yes.
Are you familiar with the security cameras that are affixed to the outside of his residence?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you familiar with that Victoria Lakes address at his home?
Yes.
Is that residence located within Duval County?
Yes.
One moment, Your Honor. As a part of your review of the video surveillance from Sean Gathright's residence, are you able to say that it fairly and accurately represents the exterior of that home?
Yes.
And lastly, from your involvement in this case with the execution of the search warrants as well as the work of the crime scene detectives and other officers from JSO, have your contacts with Mrs. Andrews always been at Mr. Chance's residence? Is it related to this case? So for the execution of the search warrant, the impounding of the devices, et cetera.
Yeah.
Did any of those contacts happen at Mrs. Andrews' residence, which would allow for a potential for probable cause to search there?
No.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, may this witness be excused? Subject potentially to recall, I don't know.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, thank you. You're free to go.
Thank you.
All right, so members of the jury, we worked a little late, but as you can see, when we get a witness on the stand, we try and wrap it up. So we will be in recess overnight, and just remember my previous admonitions. Don't listen to any news accounts, social media accounts related to this case. Don't talk to anybody about it, and don't do any independent investigation or research. See you all tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Thank you.
All rise. All jurors are out, Judge.
Okay, very good. Okay, everyone have a seat. All right, what's the lineup tomorrow?
Judge, it is going to be Amara Drew, Louis Beth Fortes Rodriguez, Detective Juan Ramos, and Detective Benjamin Doors.
Okay. All right. And then, are those your four last witnesses? Okay. So conceivably, you could rest tomorrow.
Conceivably, but I believe Ramos is going to be somewhat late.
Okay. So we'll see. Okay.
Judge, if we don't, can we get a lineup from the defense?
If you do rest.
I mean, if we do, yeah,
Yeah.
if we get the first 3 or 4 witnesses, and then Ted will call you tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow, in the event.
It would be Robert Howard. So if you can go out tomorrow, I mean, I don't.
Do you want him transported tomorrow? I can.
What I'm contemplating in my head is not having somebody sit in the back all day long. I
Right.
guess that might not matter to anybody else, but if the state thinks that they're going to rest tomorrow, if that's actually possible, then yes, I would have to come.
Okay. Well, I'm brought over.
Are we
So-
able to make that decision at noon, Your Honor?
I don't know.
Sure, he said-
How much advance notice does the sheriff's office need to transport
It's
some?
probably best for him to be transported in the morning.
Yeah.
And then by noon, if we know we're not gonna get to him, then we can
Send him back. Okay, let's
'Cause
do
in the
that
afternoon,
then.
it's gonna be busier with traffic.
Yeah.
and
All right, let's get him transported over here in the morning. If it looks like we're not gonna get him on, then we'll send him back, but,
I'll make sure he's here in the morning when I get him.
yep. Okay. All right, and then, anyone else, or is that it?
Everyone is pretty much slated for Wednesday. I'll take Anthony, Alava, Joel Jordan, Kayla, Tom Pullen.
Okay.
Oh, Detective Campbell.
Detective who?
Campbell.
Okay, very good. All right, see you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m.
Court's adjourned.